Hello!
Yeah.
Welcome to our glorious little hovel for another one of our wild Twitch streaming sessions.
Shit, I need dice.
Indeed, we're going to be continuing the second part of High Noon today. So, we'll go round and introduce ourselves. Start with I am Tech Puppet, and I will be your host tonight. So we will skip over to Spanners in that direction.
Hi, I'm Spanners, and I'm going to be playing Bertha, who has a sword, sort of, called Douglas the Cutlass.
And now Corone.
Hello, I'm Corone, and I will be playing Doc Smith. Shit.
And dropping
And
dice.
I can't remember anything about last whatever day it was.
It's okay, you are a recovering, well, not a recovering alcoholic, you're a blatant alcoholic with no intention of recovering. So that's fine, fits your character well. Right, we'll now go down to Dev.
Hi, I'm Dev, and Echo, and I will be playing Jimmy.
I'm back.
Okay, and move on to Killican.
Hi, I'm Killican, and I'll be playing Mandy.
Correct. And then finally, Thirsty.
Hey, I'm Thirsty, and I'll be playing Rat, who's lovely and you trust implicitly.
Everyone
No one ever goes along with his plans.
Cool. Right, so just to do a brief recap for those of you who were drunk, not paying attention, or forgotten in the interim since then, you guys travelled down to the town of High Noon from the far north. You emerged there and realised you have no money, no possessions, bar your one special item you've been able to save through the long hard trek, such as a bent, rusty horseshoe. But, what people value is completely up to them, really. So yeah, you emerged into the town of High Noon, you attempted to buy a drink at the bar, realised you had no money, and then you decided to venture out with some new colonists to set up a new town, because basically you didn't want to work in the mine. So, you guys went with them, met up with some nomad riders who warned you to stay away from their territory, which was to the west, so they said basically, go anywhere except west, because west's our turf, and we don't really want you coming into our turf, which is something you then singularly failed to pass on to the rest of the settlers, and then led them into what you thought would probably be a trap, rode away to go and get their next supplies, and came back and they'd all been slaughtered. Well,
How
most of them had.
unfortunate.
The young children and some of the women had gone missing, but all of the men and some of the older women were dead.
Darn.
Yes. You then promptly looted everything of value that remained and headed back to town, which is where you are now. You've just arrived, and there seems to be a posse forming to go out and try and rescue the remaining settlers and possibly get some revenge as well. So that's what you see as you ride back into town.
Excellent.
And as established previously, the nomad people who came along and wiped out the settlement were a bunch of pricks. Very important thing to note.
Okay. You can very much bear that in mind.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
Hey
yeah,
there.
you ride back into town.
Right, well, there's a posse over there. What do we want to do about it?
Leave him alone.
It's pretty difficult. They're basically spread out around the edge of town, so you would have to ride a very, very long way around. Also, the fact that you're within visual range of them now because you've ridden up to town.
Weren't we going to hide some things in the dead Smith's house?
If you've got some bits, you can take
Yeah,
that.
I believe we were going to take the anvil off of our wagon so it doesn't break. The wagon, not the
Yeah.
anvil. Yeah, and then unfortunately, if the posse happens to have left and got itself into some sort of mortal entanglements, We might just happen to accidentally go to the bar instead of the battle, and turn up ever so slightly late, just in time to win. Either in terms of acquisition or vengeance.
Anyway, as you're discussing these options, several riders leave the main pack and approach you guys. You can.
Howdy.
They're led by a tall, thin guy with a wide black hat, and you can see he's got two shiny revolvers in holsters at his waist there, and he's got as he gets closer, you can see the light gleaming off a badge on his chest, which marks him as the sheriff. And he approaches and goes, "Afternoon there, fellas.
Howdy, Sheriff.
You the last ones back from the village?"
That we are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're just about to head out for the survivors, so you fellas there jump on some of those spare horses, and we can definitely use the manpower. And he glances
Right,
at the
you are.
over at Bertha and goes, "And yeah, all power, not just manpower. Yeah, we could do with everyone on this one."
I'll do a customary run and jump at one of the horses.
Go for an animal handling check for that one.
Where's me dice?
What's animal handling?
I don't actually have a character sheet in front of me right now, so
It doesn't exist.
fine. Then the most equivalent and appropriate check, while I attempt to find a character sheet.
Go for a manipulate.
You can go for a
Manipulate
manipulate.
something
to do what
You
you're
can
doing.
attempt to manipulate the horse into obeying you.
I would have said it's more knowledge.
I don't know. You could argue. You could either, if you've
Yeah.
risen a horse in the past, you can go for knowledge, or
Yeah.
What he's doing isn't intelligent though.
Are you attempting to intimidate the horse into doing your will?
either intimidate,
Listen up,
manipulate, or
motherfucker.
knowledge. One of those three.
I'll go knowledge.
Okay,
That's a stat. Which case it's 9.
9. Okay, you go for a run at the horse, and you run at it and go and jump at it, and it just swipes its foot out to the side and catches you square in the chest and just throws you about 8 foot skidding through the dust. And the sheriff just kind of said, he goes, "You ain't been around a lot of horses, have you, son? You got to approach them gently. Don't run at them like a lunatic."
So I usually mount me horses. Yeah.
Our friend here is terribly hurt. We have to take him back into town.
You take 5 points.
Cough
of
up
damage
blood.
from being
Come on,
punched
do it.
in the chest by a horse.
Okay.
So now we have none of that. Up on these horses, come on. Time for you to man up and do your duty.
Oh, my leg. Oh, it hurts. It hurts something rotten. Oh, you see, we were in the initial colony force, and we got attacked by lizards. It was terrible. Look at his arm. We're not. I think we should sit this one out for the good of the men.
Sheriff
And women.
pulls one of his pistols out and cocks it and goes, "Now, you ain't really been injured yet, son. If you really want an injury to sit this one out, I will be happy to oblige."
Sheriff.
What a prick. And I get back and I hop a horse. Fine, whatever.
Yeah, this is the sheriff.
Sheriff, I'll tell you something. We got some supplies here. We need to drop them off. We'll follow you out.
It's alright. We've got some people who'll be able to deal with that. And he whistles, and a load of kids run out from the town and grab hold of the cart horse and start leading it back into town.
God damn it.
Sheriff, I would prefer it if me and some of my crew would be able to look after our own stuff. And
You got your own stuff.
Sorry?
You have your own stuff.
I know, but our cargo that you've just tried to take away.
You mean the cargo that we sent out to the settlers 2 days ago? Would that be your cargo that you're talking about there?
the cargo that the people are just trying to take away.
Yes.
You just brought people. That cargo, it's our personal cargo.
No, that's the cargo we sent out to the new settlement a few days ago.
Right, you are, and we're just returning it.
Yeah. That's what I thought. Like good citizens, and we do appreciate it.
Mm.
Like I said, he's a prick.
Yeah.
Just go along with it. Don't get shot.
Fine.
Sheriff like reholsters his pistol again. He's like, "We leave out in 10 minutes. Get yourself set up." And he rides back to the group, with the rest of them following him.
Right. How far away do you think we could get in 10 minutes on these horses?
Without getting shot, not very.
Well, they shoot them, they lose their horses.
Shoot us.
I'm
Also,
only little.
only one of you has a water skin.
That's their fucking problem.
You're a prick.
I think we may have to follow these guys. Potentially, we could, see what they're going for. And if they become useful, then, we'll maybe not plot again. But the last plan worked. You got yourself a watch. The doc got some moonshine. I say we get along with it.
Yeah. I agree.
Cool. The all the groups on the horse suddenly let out a cheer and they start riding over in your direction. You see that the sheriff is at the head of the group, and he pulls up just alongside you. And goes, "You fellas can just lead up ahead here. We'll you can take us right to where we need to go."
Hold on. We ain't leading.
Well, you know where you just came from, don't you?
True, but we just got here. We're not heading this. We ain't putting ourselves in that much danger.
Well,
We'll tell you
We've
where
been
to
riding
go.
We're
for
standing
6
right
fucking
here.
days.
Yeah, we'll come with you. We'll tell you where to go, but we ain't.
all
we
right.
ain't
Which way?
leading. All right, this way. And I point in the direction.
Okay, they head that direction.
Cool. And we hang back a little bit.
Follow the wagon trail, you prick. Literally, we just rode in a wagon. A heavily laden wagon. Follow it.
I'll put myself at the front of the firing line.
The sheriff he goes, "Come on, you can ride up front with me."
No tar. I'll ride. I'll ride with the body of the troops.
This is the body of the troops.
Yeah, it's the back of it.
Okay. If you want to try and work your way through the back of it, then that will be... Because basically you've had this wave of horse basically coming up behind you. So at the moment you're being pushed along at the front. If you want to try and wheedle your way to the back, I'm going to need you to take a stealth check for me.
Okay, I will take a stealth check to stop my horse and let everyone walk past me.
Well, no, the sheriff's not going to allow you to do that. He's currently sitting there looking at you saying, "Ride on."
Mm-hmm.
So you guys are
well,
riding with him at the head of
That
the...
was a 16 stealth.
Okay. Yeah, you've managed to wheedle as you're all riding forward. You've managed to ease back on the stirrup slightly, and you've managed to sink through behind, like, so you're no longer in the front row of these horses here.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone
I'll
else
show
going to
that
try and
prick.
wheedle their way back through the group? Because at the moment you've got the sheriff and a few of his friends at the front. You're in a line along the side of him, and you've got the rest of them as like a group behind you.
I'll
Yeah, sure.
Oh no, what a terrible shame. Our horses are tired.
Oh no.
Damn.
No, they're not. And I'm going to whack my horse on its behind.
Okay.
Hi.
Please tell me his horse ditches him on the floor.
No, it's as you're moving, it pulls forward and it's now slightly ahead of the rest of them. But yeah, everyone's keeping up. Your horse may take the lead for a short while, but it doesn't break away from the pack or anything. It's quite happy following the group. Horses are generally herd animals, so they'll generally follow the largest group of other horses around, unless really pushed to leave it. But your animal does seem quite frisky and seems to quite enjoy being at the front of the pack, so yeah, it has no problem with us. And yeah, you guys basically ride for several hours heading back towards the camp you left. Are you guys going to try and talk to anyone or discuss anything or try and slip away from the group or anything?
I want to speak to the sheriff.
Okay, yeah, you're riding right next to him.
Hey, what's the plan here?
Well, the plan is, we heard not all the villagers were killed, so we're going to go ride to Nomad Land, try and track them back to their camp and get back anyone still alive.
Just gonna ride on into the mountains and get butchered? I mean, they know the area. We don't.
No, that's true. That's why we brought everyone with us, but what other choice do we have? We can't leave those people to die.
They're already dead, so,
Well, not all of them.
is it worth losing more?
Well, a lot of these people here, their families are out here, so chances are they'd go anyway. And I don't want people riding off piecemeal into the hills. We still got to hold the settlement together. If we start having people ride off in ones and twos, we're going to whittle ourselves away.
Oh yeah, you're right. But all I can see happening here is we're gonna ride in, and they're just gonna ambush us again.
That's a fair point. So you're suggesting we send someone ahead to scout?
Unless you're gonna point at me.
You not up for it?
Not really. I ain't
Alright.
very perceptive, you see.
Alright, he just holds his hand up and goes, "Whoa!" And the whole group comes to a halt, and he just turns around to the group and says, we've had some tactical advisement here that we need to send some scouts out to make sure we're not riding into an ambush. Have we got any volunteers?
Yeah.
Good man.
Don't send him, he's drunk.
Anyone else?
Well, I suppose if the doctor's going to go, then I'm going to go with him.
Alright, good.
Reverend.
Okay.
Are we now volunteering to scout after refusing to scout?
It sounds like it. Alright, I guess my crew wanna do this.
Are we operating under the same plan as we did under Lou? Yeah.
Reverend.
See, I turned to the sheriff. I'm like, Lou was the chief scout of the settlers' exposition. You know, he was a good man. Gave me this gun. Hold the rifle. He was impressive.
He knows
Such a
it,
good scout.
Yeah, Lou was good. Mind you, stay in sight range so we know nothing's gone wrong. If you go out of sight, and there's no point having a scout up ahead. If they just butcher you and we can't see you, we could still ride straight into a trap. So you stay in eyesight.
Mm.
You have a good point there. Alright, let's ride ahead.
Okay.
All right. Sounds a bit like riding piecemeal to me, but all right. Give it a go.
It's not ideal, but you know.
Okay. Yeah.
Got any irons we could lend this lot? You know.
You already got a rifle there. What more do you need?
Well,
One
I need some of these others to have them.
Sure. Who's not packing?
That'll be me.
Okay. He nods to his men here and they pass over a couple of... I've got a few revolvers they pass over to you. And one rifle.
What's the condition of the revolvers?
They're everyday. They're not amazing, but they're also... Yeah, they're not ruined, but they looks like they haven't been used in a little while.
About what I got then.
I also require some more ammunition.
They come with a few shots in them. So say you can have you can have 12 shots for each rifle, each pistol. So you've got 24 shots and 2 pistols and a rifle with say 10 shots.
Okay.
and you guys can distribute them
Okay.
amongst yourselves how you see fit.
Which ones did you want?
I'm gonna grab some rifle shells because I've got a rifle but no spare ammo.
I will grab some bullets for my revolver. That's all I have.
Well, the gun you kept yourself was a single shot musket rather than rifle or revolver. But you've now got a revolver.
Okay.
Cool. And Doc, you've got something, have you?
Yep, I got me and you, my hooked knife. Don't need no gun.
I'll take his.
Well, yeah, he gave you 2 pistols and a rifle, and so there's still a spare pistol.
Unless Jimmy wants like 3.
I need
Bam, bam, bam. Fucking Blackbeard, that shit. Oh,
Cool.
I'm good.
okay. I'll have a pistol.
Okay.
Cool. Then yeah.
And I think at this point, before we ride off, I'm going to just turn the Doc the right way round on his horse.
Oh. You mean we're going that way?
Okay.
Okay.
You rearrange the dock on the correct path, and yeah, the sheriff calls to ride on again, and him and the guys like kind of set us a slow walk to give you guys a chance to pull ahead.
We pull ahead.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, basically you're just following the path back towards the camp you left. So are you just going to ride all the way there, or are you going to do anything between here and there?
So
Yeah.
I don't see no point in getting these guys slaughtered. It doesn't really help us. We kind of need that town. Need somewhere to stay where there's some like living people that ain't kids.
Well, yeah, but as previously stated, the sheriff's a bit of a prick, and I'm pretty sure we can overpower some kids and set up as rulers of our own town.
If the sheriff catches a bullet, it won't be the worst thing in the world. But you know, we got a lot of able-bodied people here that could help keep the town running.
Yeah, especially if they run away and don't get in a fight.
Well,
Or, you know,
can see that
or the
happening.
scouts just
Well,
happen to lead them in the wrong direction.
That doesn't sound like a great idea. They're just gonna keep looking. They got plenty of supplies, I see. We know roughly where they are. We might as well try and win and see what we can, you know, scavenge off the nomads, maybe. Just as much to gain out of killing the nomads as killing these guys.
Now you're talking my language.
I thought so.
So,
What do we say? We actually try and do a good job here?
So we're suggesting killing the nomads who we ran away from.
Yeah. You know,
Yeah,
they
yeah,
kill
the-
those guys that frees up some supplies, and we kill them and get the supplies back that they took.
yeah, the deadly, terrifying nomads.
Win, I say. But we gotta get into a decent position so we can actually win.
Yeah. On that note, should we really be riding like single file on this, you know, this track? If we're going to be doing proper scouting, should we not spread out and, you know, look for things?
The thing that bit the Doc, that was poisonous, right?
Yeah.
If we liberated another one, could we perhaps use some of that to make our position a little bit better?
Well, you know that it hurt a lot, but it didn't kill the dog.
But it would be distracting.
It would certainly be distracting. Yeah, it hurt like hell, and it left him basically riding on the floor.
Yeah.
Do you want to attempt to harvest a lizard?
What do people reckon?
Well, I don't see any lizards around here. There were up by the waterhole.
Well, you're heading back there anyway, because that's where the
Oh
village was.
yeah. But, I don't imagine that the sheriff, who apparently keeps his eye on his scouts rather than letting them go off and scout, is going to let us wander off and catch lizards. Where the fuck are you going? Oh, we're just popping off to grab some lizards. Why the fuck are you doing that? Well, presumably because we're cowards. I don't see that going well.
That may well be where
I
it's
might
taking
not
an
have thought
army.
this through.
Okay, you can have this discussion while you're riding along anyway. It's
Yeah.
because you guys are now on horses rather than dragging a wagon along. You can manage to get to the camp before the end of the day. It's probably only round about. Let's say it's getting towards mid-afternoon at this point. You've got a few hours daylight left, and you ride into the remains of the camp.
Scout? What's the area around us like? Where can we go? Like, where would we expect them to have been attacked from?
Well, do you want to have a look around the area, see if you can find some tracks and things?
Sounds good. See if we
So-
can find where they went.
That would probably be. You can use some form of perception, or you could try and go for some knowledge.
Go for a sneak.
Yeah, you go for a sneak perception.
See if we can sneak or sneak dexterity. No. Yeah, it gives me a +1. If I do a sneak perception, see if I can figure out where they could have snuck in
Yeah, that's cool.
to ambush. I got a 12.
Got a 12. Okay, you ride round and you can find that coming in from the northwest, you can see some horse tracks. You also, riding around the camp, you notice there's some other strange tracks as well, from the southeast. They're strange. They look like bird tracks, but very large. Like they don't match anything you've seen before, but you can definitely tell there's some hoof prints heading to the northeast or northwest. Sorry. Can I get you to take a an intelligence knowledge check?
Okay.
Crit.
Crit. Okay. You remember from poking around before, the hoof tracks to the northwest weren't there earlier. Or they weren't there when you looted this camp before.
Somebody's come back in. Interesting. Yeah, I relay this to the team.
Yeah, that's cool. But yeah, seeing these hoof tracks there, you could they leave a fairly plain trail. You could probably follow them back to see where they came from.
Right, we want to go have a look. Follow these out, see if we can find where they are.
Yeah.
Sounds worth a go.
Cool.
Alright.
Sounds like the best option.
Quietly and slowly though, eh?
Okay. This is looking from the tracks. This appears to be where they came into the camp, but you can't. It looks like they came from this way, but they didn't head back in this way. This looks like where they came from.
Can we not see where they went after?
If you explore around the camp, it gets difficult because there was a lot of dead people and disturbances in the ground laying around the remains of the wagons. There seems to be some travel to the east back the way you've come. It's difficult to say whether they went that way or not because you've had several people riding through and wagons going through since then.
Yep.
And there's also like the water and rocks heading to the south, so there's not as much to leave a trail on that direction. But you do see some more of those towards the south. You see more of these strange bird footprints.
Strange.
That's 20 sneaky men on 20 sneaky horses. Who would have thought? Maybe Lou wasn't right. We shouldn't have been scouts. Apparently, we can't find the track of 20 men who rode out yesterday.
Well, there was a battle here. And
Well,
we got these up the tracks.
They may have gone out the way you came, but any passive
Oh, yeah.
would have destroyed it.
I'm just saying, like, apparently we're not as good scouts as we thought we were.
It's entirely possible you're not well-trained scouts.
No, we're not scouts at all.
Indeed.
In fact, we only claim it so we can sneak off.
Maybe we should relay this stuff to the posse.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, they're just like kind of the sheriff's ridden in with a couple of his men. The rest of them are waiting just at the mouth of the thing. They don't really want to all come in case they get ambushed in here, because you've got these high valley. Well, they're not high valley walls, but they raise about up to 10 meters above the ground level, so it's possible there could be someone hidden around here. But the sheriff rides up and so what you seen?
Got some weird shit going on around here. There's some tracks I do not recognize.
All right.
Come over here. Go here. I show him the tracks.
Kenzo goes, look at those. That does look weird. I ain't never seen nothing like that before. He looks around some of his guys like, you ever seen anything like that before? And they're like, no, boss. No, we ain't ever seen nothing like this before.
And you can see that there's some people on horseback that came in like from over there, or from the east, or from the west, or whichever way it was. Yeah, nobody really going anywhere except for these weird bird things.
Right, okay. Well, if they came from that direction, then maybe we can follow back, see where they came from. Maybe they got a camp somewhere nearby we can track back to.
Maybe. Follow that back then. Let's do it.
Okay.
Might I suggest we do this sneaky, like, maybe find out where they are, and then maybe, like, camp for a bit, rest up. I mean, we've been on the road for the most part of 6 days.
So,
I mean, I dare say some of the less fit members of the posse and ourselves would heartily appreciate a bit of a rest.
he nods and looks up and goes, it's going to be dark in a few hours, so let's move away from this area. We don't want to camp here with all these remains. I mean, you can see most of the bodies now they've been laying out in the sun for quite a few days now. They're starting to, I would say they're kind of going rot. They're kind of desiccating in the heat, but it's still quite an unpleasant smell. So.
The bodies that we can see, have any of them been moved since the last time that Rat decided to make friends?
Do you want to take an intelligence test for me to see if you can remember, because it was about 3 days ago.
Okay. It's 13.
13. You think possibly some of them may have been moved, like rolled over, or but not. No, nothing's been massively moved. You can't tell exactly if anyone's, but it doesn't look like anything's been taken. Some of the people may have been rolled around slightly, but you've also had things like vultures and stuff like feeding on people as well. So it might have been animals, it might have been other people. It's difficult to tell.
Rat's going to go over to the bodies and see if anyone... Because he didn't roll the bodies over previously. He pulled off boots and he went through pockets.
Okay.
But he didn't, manhandle them too much. He's going to go and see if anyone has anything on them that he didn't notice the first time, because he would have nicked it the first time. If they've been, rolled over, it might expose new stuff.
Okay, if you're going to be doing that, I'm probably going to need you to take some kind of mental endurance save, because these things, these are bodies that have been left in the sun for quite a few days now. Going near these, I mean, being within visual distance, these things is bad enough, but coming close enough to be able to stand over these things is pretty horrific.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'll get a bash. Nope. That is a botch. That's a big old botch.
Okay, you go over to look at one, and you're kind of going to look down at this guy, and they're basically, it's a bloke. He's laying down there. He's got his head to one side, and you see his eye flickering. So you kind of take a closer look, and this insect crawls out of his eye socket down the side of his face, and you just lose it. You just turn to one side and empty your stomach on the floor and stagger away. That's not your thing. You're not happy with that.
No. No.
You can see the guys by the sheriff are trying not to laugh at you, kind of just completely disgracing yourself in front of everyone. But the sheriff's just kind of like just kind of watching you, just carefully, seeing what you're doing.
Someone can't handle that liquor.
He just kind of turns to the rest of you, like, maybe you want to gather your friend up and get him out of here. You
I take a hearty drink from my water skin, which I have,
Yep.
which is full. Glug, 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 motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Doesn't it look good? Glorious water that none of the rest of you have had for days. Think about that. Glug, glug, glug. Anyway, yeah. I'm gonna wash my face off.
Yeah, the
Possibly wash off my fancy ass boots that I nicked off with Dead Willie.
Yeah.
Don't vomit on my nice boots.
That's fine. Cool. So yeah, the sheriff then says, "Right, do you want to head up that trail? We'll find a good place to. Well, yeah, you go up that trail, find a good place to camp, and we'll bring the men up."
I think I'm too sick. I need to have a little bit of a sit down.
He just turns to the rest of you and goes, "You get your friend up there, and you sort him out. We'll be up in a few." And he just turns and rides back to the group.
The minute his back turns, I just stand up. I'm completely fine. I'm like, what an asshole. I don't much care for this guy.
Anyone.
I just grab the reins of the horse and start walking. Fucking prick. Fucking prick. If we ever come across nomads, the first bullet that lands will be mine. Prick. Yeah, I'm gonna frag me a fucking sheriff.
Cool. So you guys gonna?
But sir, the natives didn't appear to have rifles. Strange. The sheriff appears to have been shot in the back of the head.
How did they get behind us? How did they get a gun?
One of life's little mysteries.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you guys gonna head up and find a campsite?
Hey, there's that little cave that we stayed in the other day.
Stayed in the cave.
It's a
Do we stay in a cave?
No, you guys
Yeah.
just camped out behind a.
yeah. We camped out outside a cave on the other side of the waterhole. That's where we hunted the lizards the next morning.
Oh yeah, it was a little cave there, wasn't it? It wouldn't be big enough for all these people though.
Oh god, no! But it's away from the rotting bodies, and it's a place where we can sit down. Like we can go off that way because it's clearly there's land over there. It's not here,
Yeah.
and we know it already.
Fair enough. So that was off to the south, whereas the trail is leading off to the northwest.
If we go that way, can we go up and round?
So we will go northwest and circle around to the south.
I think we should just find the nomads.
That was sort of my plan. I was wondering if we went up around there and we got some poison or something that we can then distract them with, and then we can just shoot them, and they don't have to worry about shooting back.
I don't understand how we're going to distract them with poison.
Unless we manage to sneak into their camp and poison their water or something.
Yeah, just
There are- I mean-
Trojan sandwich.
I mean, for the posse here, there's about 50 odd guys.
In the ruins of the previous settlement, how much stuff for the capacitance of water is there? How many barrels and water skins and shit like that is there intact?
There's a couple of barrels around. You're not sure how intact they are because they're all empty at the moment. Are you gonna try and fill one up, or?
Right, guys. Here's the plan. What we do is we gather up as much fresh water as possible, and we put it in that little cave to the south for us, and maybe them. And we drag the filthy, horrific, rotting corpses into the waterhole to poison it. Meaning the natives can't use it.
Okay,
And
so
when
it
they
dries
come
them out.
back, because obviously they've killed us because they want this place, it will be useless to them.
So you're suggesting that we sacrifice ourselves?
Oh God,
But
no!
then kill them
I'm
anyway.
saying we poison the waterhole and leave. You know, and then when the nomads are here and they poison themselves and they're terribly ill, the posse comes back in and wipes them out at some point way in the future, maybe after we leave town.
When is it you're planning
It's a
to do
cunning trap. Well, it's a plan. I'm proposing it to them. Maybe we could sell it to the sheriff. Someone with a charisma above 0
Okay.
can mention it to the sheriff.
Sounds like a plan to me.
Rat's the horrible, unscrupulous character who would come up with things like this. You know, with all of the bravery and moral fortitude of, you know, the average weasel.
Yeah, I think Bertha
I
just
have lots of
hit it.
charisma.
Mm-hmm.
I have a charisma of 4.
I think you might be up.
Yep.
What am I doing?
Face man. Oh God.
Well, they're
So-
proposing a plan. But,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I the reason I had to leave was because I had a cramp in my shin.
Right. Mhm.
So
Right.
we're thinking about like poisoning the nomads with dead bodies in the water, but we need to.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
You want to
We need to
poison the
just
nomads with dead bodies?
No, I don't.
Right, the plan is that we drag the rotting corpses into the waterhole, and then
Okay.
we leave. And when the nomads go, ha ha, we've got our fucking oasis back, we let them drink the poisonous water and get sick. And then we come back some point later on and wipe them out. All dead. All of their shinies unattended.
Don't
See.
dead bodies float?
Yeah.
Not if you put a big stone on them. Great big stones.
I get the impression that these guys kind of want blood, like right now, not in 3 months' time.
Yeah, well, the sheriff seems to be a bloody-minded old prick. He might go for something that, you know, saves a few lives.
I mean, also, we don't know that this is the only water involved. What if they have
Well,
wells?
yeah, it doesn't need to be. It's useless to us. It might as well be useless to them.
It's not useless to us. Once we kill the nomads, we can settle here.
that's true. This is the only other supply of water that you know of in the area.
That's a point for both sides.
Well,
I say it's the only point you know of, not necessarily the only point the nomads know of.
Yeah. But still.
Anyway,
we just gotta
so
It's
are
a
you guys
plan.
going to
It's
go?
a plan that's more devious than walk into their base and hope we don't get killed.
Anyway, are you guys going up to find the campsite, or are you just standing around talking about this at the moment? Because
I mean, I'm gonna go up and find the campsite.
okay, cool. Because
don't-
the bloke asked you to do this about 10 minutes ago, so he's probably wondering why you guys are still standing there.
I don't really understand. So, like, what do you need my charisma for?
Try and convince. Don't worry.
Yeah, basically, if Rat comes up with any plan, he needs to get someone else to convince anyone but you guys to go along with it. Because
Okay.
he has a charisma of flat dog shit.
And he's also
Like,
slightly annoyed the sheriff, so it's unlikely he'd pay attention to anything he said.
yeah, I've called the sheriff a prick to his face a number of times.
And every time he asks you to do anything, you go, "Oh, my leg, I'm tired, I can't do that right now."
Yeah. I don't imagine I'm the only person who does that.
No, I bet you are. No one else has tried that. You're literally like the Weasley little one. He's like, "Oh, I'm tired. I can't do this."
Oh, my leg. Oh, it hurts.
Yeah. You notice that he glares at you more than anyone else. He's also the sheriff, and you have a weedy, thievy look about you.
Yeah.
And you went to
This
like
is why I
try
didn't want to work for him.
yeah, you specifically in front of him tried to go and loot a body.
I didn't go to try and loot a body.
You just said
I
you were
went
trying
to
to
go
see
and
if anything had been revealed since the body was turned over.
Yeah, because it would tell us that if the things were still on the body, it would tell us that whatever rolled the body over wasn't trying to steal them.
Okay. Well, he assumed you were going to go and try and rob the body, but lost your stomach at the last moment. So.
Ah, well.
Anyway, so you've
that's just prejudice. That's law enforcement and prejudice right there.
He's already.
You can't be a
categorised
Weasley-looking little thief without being profiled as a Weasley-looking little thief.
Exactly. Yeah, he's got your number. Right. So you head up the ridge there, and as you ride along, there's a little there's a large mesa rising fairly high, just slightly further to the west. And there's a gouge in it which you could fit everyone into, and it means you'd only have to watch out from 2 different approaches rather than having approaches all around you. So it looks like it would be a fairly decent place to camp for a large group of people.
Let's go there and hope there's drink.
Okay.
Is there any moonshine that we can see around us?
What, alcohol laying around in the desert? Like, here's a bottle of booze I left laying on the floor.
Dead bodies and stuff?
No. I mean, anything that would have been here would have basically dried out or been... basically any water skins and things would have just leaked away or dried out by now.
Okay. Right.
Need a drink.
We've still got a little bit left to that one from the other day, I think.
Didn't we
It
have
must be
some
just about
spares
empty now.
that we'd hidden away?
No, you only found one bottle of alcohol.
Let's go back and report to the sheriff. Nicely.
Yeah, well, they're following you up anyway, so literally you can
Okay.
just wave your hand behind you and they're behind you. They're keeping in sight of you in case you get attacked by someone.
Ah, sweet.
Because
Nice.
that's the whole point of them, is like, if our scouts get killed and we don't see it happening, then what's the point of having a scout?
It's fairly good logic.
Typically, the scout makes noise before they die. That's their job.
Well, yeah, but then again, a good, counter scout will stop them making noise before they kill them, so. And these nomads are renowned for being sneaky. As you know, when, they just suddenly appeared above you, 20 of them the other day.
Yeah, they did. They did manage to hide 20 galloping horses behind a small hill.
Yeah.
With no dust cloud.
There was a dust cloud, which is how you noticed it, but it was quite small.
It was a sneaky dust cloud.
It was a sneaky dust cloud. It was more impressive than any dust cloud you've managed to produce so far. Okay, so yeah, you find this place. You set up for the night. For the night, the sheriff orders some other people to keep on watch. He doesn't ask you guys to do it, especially not you.
Probably for the best.
He definitely doesn't ask Rat to be on watch.
Does he ask Rat to possibly sit in front of the watchman?
Yeah, he may possibly ask a couple of people to keep watch on you, but
I could do that.
That's profiling. That's rampant profiling there.
But anyway, yeah, he doesn't specifically ask you to do anything. But they do provide food and drink for you. So yeah, there's basically a big old pot comes out from one of the spare horses, and you see some kind of there's some mix of some stew or something that goes on there, mostly compiling of beans and dried meat.
What drink they got?
Do you want to try and find some booze?
Yeah.
Now that they've settled down, there are a few games going on. Some people are doing throwing some dice, doing some gambling, and you can see that a couple of them have what looks to be kind of small hip flasks of, you assume, something alcoholic, because they're occasionally taking small sips from it.
Try asking for a drink.
He goes, yeah. Do you want to join us? He offers you his hip flask for a small drink.
That would be amazing. Thanks.
Okay. You can see that they're basically just gambling with little bits and pieces. You can see that they're kind of using, most of them are using like bullets and things for wagers.
Can we join in?
Yeah, join in. He goes, yeah, room for you if you wanna come join us. What you got to offer?
Oh. We've got a few little bits. We've got I guess we've got some bullets we could throw in the pile, and got a good hammer.
Good hammer's always handy. He's
Exactly.
Got a gold prospecting pan if they want it.
Yeah, small prospecting pan might. Some of these guys might be quite up for that. Yeah, you see that basically they pull out like an array of random little things. It's like there's a couple of bullets that go out there. One of the guys puts a hip flask in there, which you can hear from like sort of sloshing. It's basically a water skin. It's just like a water skin that someone's made to like put some nice patterns and things into. So looks like someone's taken a bit more care of it than your standard water skin. So yeah, he plops that down. You can hear it kind of sloshing around as he puts it down. And yeah, one of the guys puts a nice knife down on the table. It's got like a bone, like a horn handle, and yeah, a couple of other little odds bits and pieces. One puts down a nice shiny button.
Okay, and I'm going to put my hammer down.
Okay. Anyone else going in?
Can I see if there's anything on the floor?
What are you looking for on the floor? There's sand,
Just
there's rocks, there's shrubs. Possibly a
Just
lizard if you
anything
look hard.
anything random that I could just put on and be my wager for putting in.
Well, it need to be something of some kind of value, and you can convince them that a rock you've literally just bent down and picked up from in front of them is of some value.
I could try and manipulate.
You'd have to manipulate. No, yeah, I'm gonna say you need to manipulate damn hard to bend down in front of someone, pick up a rock, put it on the table, and go my wager. Yeah, in fact, yeah, you probably start some kind of fight by doing that, but you can give it a go.
Yeah, why
Okay.
not?
You gonna do that?
Trust me, that sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
Alright, yeah, you pick up a rock from the floor and put it on your wager, and the bloke just kind of looks at the rock and looks at you, and he goes, "Now I was nice just now, giving you a sip of my drink. Are you really going to insult me like that?"
Very valuable rock.
Give him another rock.
I'll put a second one on the desk.
The bloke just he scowls at you, just like knocks them off the table and stands there and goes, "I think you better leave, son."
Nah, go on, keep antagonising him. He's got a table.
I'll put myself on the table.
The bloke goes, "Alright, I've had enough of this," and he grabs you and just like picks you up and throws you to the floor. Are you going to attempt to resist?
Yeah.
In that case, we're going to have a grapple.
Shank.
8.
Ooh, it's a tie. He tries to pick you up and throw you on the floor, but you just grab hold of him, and you're both basically standing there, kind of holding each other's arms and just like shaking each other. But the his mates all stand up, and as they jump up, the little kind of like board they bounce down on top of them just tumbles over, and bits of shells and things fall into the dirt, and they all pile in on top of the dock. So there's now like there's about 5 blokes have just dogpiled the dock and start punching and kicking at him.
Now, while this is happening, those valuables upon the floor,
Yeah.
they mysteriously disappear into my backpack.
Can I get you to take a be a
Sneaky,
sneak check?
sneaky.
Yeah, take a sneak check to see how much of it you can first of all find and how much of it you can actually like take.
Is a 15.
15, cool. You manage to snuck up the ammo and the hammer you can find, and you find the wolfskin. So you can have an extra. We'll go with an extra 15 bullets, which
Nice.
includes however many that Spanners put down as a bid as well.
Cool. So, yeah, we had 3 down plus the hammer.
So he's found your hammer and loads of shells and the water skin of booze, and the dock is currently getting pummeled. For
I'm just going to chuck you,
Very-
going to point your hammer out to you and chuck you some bullets.
you're very ineffectively pummeled for 3 damage, because while trying to rain blows upon you, more of them keep dogpiling on top of it, so none of them can get a proper swing at you, so they're more just kind of like, ah, damn it, just kind of like trying to elbow you and stuff. It's currently a very ineffective beating, but it's
I'll try and get up, push him out of the way.
okay. In that case, I'm going to need to take a grapple check against like all 5 of these guys. Is anyone assisting the doc at this point, or are they just like ignoring him?
Yeah, gone.
Okay. Well, how are you assisting?
I am going to. I'm going to use my hammer.
You're going to acquire it back from the. So are you going to start wailing on these dudes with a hammer?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you aiming for like to injure or kill these people or?
No. I'm just going to initially threaten them, and if they continue attacking the dock, then I'm going to kneecap them.
Okay. If you're going to be trying to threaten them, I'll need you to take an intimidate check.
Okie dokie. Alright.
I got 12, by the way.
These guys also got 12. Well, actually, they rolled 12, but there are 5 of them pinning you down, so I'm going to say that you're held down for the moment.
11.
11. Okay. You one of the blokes kind of stands up and kind of like he starts like kind of shuffling, like looking like round the floor trying to see where his wage has gone. But like after like kind of like seeing like the thrashing limbs and the overturned board, he just goes, "Ah, fuck it," and just turns and walks away. But there's still there were 5 of these guys, weren't there? So there's still 4 of them beating on the dock at the moment.
I'm just gonna fire a revolver up into the air.
Okay. Yeah, you fire a revolver up into the air, and that everyone just kind of rolls off the dock, kind of gets to their knees. But you see, as you look around, you can see everyone else has basically drawn weapons, is kind of looking around, trying to figure out what the hell's going on. And the sheriff stomps over and goes, "Now what in the hell's going on over here?"
I think some of your boys are trying to attack my boys.
They didn't like my rocks.
You see the guy who initially judged it goes, "He was insulting me. I offered him a sip of my drink, and he tried to play a game with some rocks." The sheriff just walks across and just like backhands him across the face, and it's like, "Have you ever heard the definition of stealth, boy? Now we're supposed to be sneaking in here quiet, like you firing off guns and causing a ruckus."
Wait, who gets slapped?
The dude on the dude who started the fight.
Yeah, you firing guns. Idiot. And I put mine away.
You refusing rocks.
Now, all of you, listen up. I want a nice, quiet, and safe watch tonight. We're in, consider it enemy territory, so I want everyone to keep a special vigilant lookout, especially now we've, made a gunshot. Sound travels pretty far out here, and I expect that probably got noticed by someone. So,
I noticed.
yeah, I noticed it too. So, you guys get some sleep now, and keep one ear open. If you hear some hollering, get ready for some fighting. And no more. It's roughhousing here. And he stomps
Are
off.
you seriously telling me we're not going to move? Oh, Jesus, we're going to fucking die.
He just he stops and turns and goes, "I'm getting mighty sick of your complaining, boy. Next time I hear whinging coming out of your voice, I will deliver my boots straight up your ass." And then he
Sheriff.
Better that than 20 nomads.
Sheriff, surely you have some form of entertainment that you can sort of like ease your troubles with.
I can juggle my rocks.
He just turns around, he goes, "No, ma'am, not right now. Maybe later when we're back in town."
I meant like alcohol.
He meant something else, but here's the thing.
Yeah, I get that.
But yeah, the sheriff just like shakes his head and goes and lays down on his bedroll.
I see. He can take it easy, can he?
Yeah, and he's advised you guys to take it easy as well.
Oh, fine. All right.
Did those wagers get gathered up by anyone? The rest of them, the rather large shiny knife.
I
thought you had 'em.
Hmm?
You can see that the rest of the guys, after you stop the fighting, they go back and pick up their board and pick up the rest of their things. So you managed to find a few bits and pieces, but
Yeah. Okay, cool.
find that.
Yeah. Just like, oh, damn.
I collect my 2 rocks and put them in my pocket.
Okay, cool. Keep a careful note of that. You see the guy who got slapped across the face just glare at you, but he just stomps off to the other side of a fire and throws himself down, having a bit of a huff. So, you've I don't know whether Rat at least has a wool skin full of alcohol of some shape, size, and description.
Yeah.
Whether he decides to give it to the dog.
I was going to give it to the doc once things quieted down a bit.
Okay.
You know, there's no point getting in a fight with a bunch of people and then like they'll go like, "Oh, shit's missing,"
Yeah.
and just be like, "Here you are. I'm going to hand you something that looks suspiciously like the things that just went missing."
Cool. Okay, yeah. So I'm going to say that. Yeah, you go through the rest of the night fairly quietly. You guys get some sleep. When you wake up in the morning, that would have been the last of the doc's bottle. So he's down to the hip flask now. He's been given that, which has probably got about another day's worth in it.
Can we decant the water from my other water skin into the doc's like big jug bottle, and then put the booze from the nicked water skin into my first one, so that basically he's not riding around with someone's nicked water skin, and neither am I?
Well, he could just empty the booze from the water skin into his empty flask.
I suppose. I was just thinking more along the lines of it's easier for me to carry a jug bottle in a backpack than him walk around with a full bottle of booze. Just like,
You can do that if you want to, though it will mean your water will taste of the really foul concoction that was in his flask beforehand. Yeah.
as opposed to being horrible lukewarm water that's been in a water skin for days.
True, but this is like, reusing a vodka bottle that's had something nasty brewed in it beforehand.
Yeah, might put a little sort of a little sparkle on my day.
Fair enough. Yeah, you can definitely do that if you want to. So yeah, you have a mildly alcoholic water skin now, or water.
The important thing is that we just don't have a doc going through like DTs in the middle of a gunfight.
He's got an entire day before he has to worry about that kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, you wake up early. You get up. The sheriff's like kind of going around staring at everyone just as the sun's rising. He's they break out some dry meat for breakfast. They don't relight because they want to get moving quickly. They've kicked sand over the fires and things already, so they don't bother relighting them for breakfast. They just hand out some dried rations. And then mounts up. And the sheriff rides over to you guys and goes, "Right, you happy to take the lead again?"
Well,
Good choice.
from this point on, we don't know where the fuck we're going.
Yeah, we're just as lost as you, sir.
Alright. In that case, I'll get some volunteers together, get them to try and locate this for us, and you ride with me today.
Yeah, you got any like actual scouts? That'd be useful.
I'll ask around.
Where are your deputies? Surely this sort of thing is their job.
Well, right now, every one of us is an honorary deputy. Well, every one of you, anyway. And he turns and rides off or walks off because he hasn't met up yet, and speaks to a few of the other guys. And you see a couple of people head off on foot after the tracks. And the sheriff kind of basically just goes around talking to other groups for a bit, and then works his way back around to you again. He goes, "Right, we've sent some guys off on foot, so they won't be as easily seen and won't cause as much noise. So we're going to give them a bit of time to pull ahead a little bit, and then we'll be following them, walking the horses slowly, trying not to raise too much dust. So make sure you got everything ready to go. We'll be leaving in 5 minutes."
All right.
Cool.
Okay. In which case, I help Doc onto his horse.
Cool.
Why, thank you, ma'am.
Assuming you're not going to do any kind of like particularly weird methods of getting on your horse, I'm going to say you will manage to get onto a horse pretty easily.
Yeah, not this time.
Okay, cool. Also, you slept, didn't you? So you can restore some hit points from sleeping.
Ooh.
You can have 7 hit points back.
Oh, thank you.
That's alright.
Almost full health.
Cool. So yeah, the you basically get back on your horses and get there, and you walk slowly along. You can see these scouts in the distance. They're, yeah, you reckon to ride up to them would probably be about 5 minutes, but yeah, you can see them walking on ahead, and yeah, you just follow these scouts for a few hours. After about 3 hours, you see the scouts kind of turn and start and head back towards your group, and the sheriff stops the convoy. Yeah, the scouts turn up. Go. Yeah, there's a camp. You just saw a camp of them just over that ridge yonder, and he points over, and you can see there's basically a series of ridges. He says after that third ridge over there, just down. There's a little village, and we didn't see how many was in there. We didn't want to give away our position, but there's at least some movement down there. And then the sheriff turns around and goes, right, what we're going to do then is we're going to, half of us are going to go over this ridge here, the other half going to go round the other side, and then come in from the other side, so we can catch the two in the middle.
Handsome.
Oh, there.
What was that?
I like.
How many did you say?
The scout didn't say. He just said they saw some movement.
Pretty fucking useless scout.
Well, if you want to go up there and take a look.
We got no idea what we're walking into here.
Go on, Jimmy. Go and have a look.
Fuck you. You go in. Prick.
I wouldn't have you using my words against me. Come on, you fuck. And I'm grab him by the ear and spur my horse. Fine, I will. I'll go have a look.
Are you going to ride up to the ridge on your horse?
I'm going to ride to the ridge and then walk up it
Right, okay.
on foot.
Okay. Can I get you to take a stealth check, and anyone who's going with you to take a stealth check?
Yeah.
I guess I'm going with you.
I will also.
Just
go
want me to
with you.
drag you off
Okay.
your horse by your ear.
I got a 6.
I got a 13.
Okay.
12.
Okay.
In fact, my rolls for stealth have been fairly abysmal, considering I have a plus 10.
10.
Okay. Are you going as well, Spanners, or are you staying back?
I'm not going near a ridge where he's pulling someone off by their ears.
Okay.
So I'm going to hang back a bit.
Cool. So most of you got above 10, didn't you? Just one of you didn't. Right. Okay. So yeah, you guys got up to walk near towards the ridge, and then hop off your horses and kind of shimmy up the gunslinger. They decide, so he's just going to walk up this ridge, like, screw this whole slithering thing. But luckily, Rat kind of drags you down and stops you skylining yourself.
As
too badly.
always.
So,
As
yeah.
always, Rat drags you down.
Yeah, Rat drags you down, and you basically shuffle up to the ridge and look down to it, and you can see there's a you can see the village down there. There's it's a fair size. You can see. Take a perception check for me. You can all take perception checks. Whoever's there to have a look.
No. 7.
12.
7.
10.
Okay. Yeah, you can make out. Looks like there are about 20 people down there. You can also see there's some kids as well, but it looks like there are about 20 adults.
I'm going to let out this really loud belch.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks
then-
for that.
Excuse me.
Okay. You let out a belch. It doesn't seem. No one seems to have heard you. I mean, you are a long way away from this camp at the moment. But yeah.
Okay. I smacked the dog a little bit.
Fair enough. But yeah, I mean that's what you can see from here. So you can head back and report. Or do you want to do anything else while you're here?
Only ridden for a few moments. We could surely just roll over on our bellies and go come here.
Yeah, you gonna gesture these guys up to you?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're not doing it.
You see that the sheriff kind of talking to these guys, which obviously you can't hear. Spanners, you can hear this because you're there. Yeah, you can see he basically turns to his group and basically gestures to his left. He's like, you guys that side, you circle round. We'll give you an hour to get in position, and then we'll signal you from the ridge with a gunshot. Once you hear the gunshot, ride down, and we'll come down from this side and we'll trap them between us.
All right.
Cool. Yeah, so
Just
half of
gotta
them
let you
ride
know,
off
sir.
around the edge and
Wait,
Spanners.
wait, wait. Oh, okay.
You're not there.
Bye. Okay.
You're at the ridge still, unless you've come back.
Oh, it's fine. I'm at the ridge.
Okay, cool. So yeah,
Okay,
he orders
but-
those, and the rest of the guys, he basically they get off and hitch the horses back here where they are, and they just walk up on foot towards where you guys are. Basically, they stop about 20 meters back from the ridge line, and they just the sheriff just kind of gestures for you guys to come over to him.
Okay, in which case I head on over,
Yeah,
staying
you're-
out of arm's length
Yeah.
of Rat.
I assume you're following the guys over where they've stopped, just away from the ridge line.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So you come over there, and yeah, the sheriff's case. Everyone else just kind of squats down, and the assume you guys have come over. Yeah. Cool. Sheriff squats down. He's like, right. Well, I've sent half these guys around to the other side. We're going to give them now to get in position, and then once we've given them time, we're going to fire a shot, and that'll be the sign that we're going to run down there. They're going to come down the far side, we'll go down this side. How many of them were down there?
20, wasn't it?
20.
20.
Okay.
Some
He's like,
kids.
And we've had some kids. We gotta watch out for the kids.
yeah. Okay. Right. He just passes information back up the line. He's like, right. Okay. Well, now it's just a waiting game. Remember, stay quiet. Don't want to give ourselves away. He sends one of his guys to go and kind of look over the ridge and just make sure there's no one kind of coming this way that will give us away. And yeah, just settles down. Are you guys going to do anything while this hour ticks past?
Make sure my rifle is good and ready.
Yeah.
Shiny, loaded, cocked. I'm going to make sure my shanking shiv is really, really nicely cleaned.
Okay.
Or at least, sufficiently filthy to make a really nasty cut. One or the other, I haven't really decided. Maybe I stick it in the ground and get it properly filthy and then and clean it off.
Okay.
I've got an hour.
Yeah.
Do we have water with us?
Yeah.
Apart from Rat's water.
Yeah, there's water
Yeah.
with everyone else. Most people have got water skins except you guys because you haven't acquired one yet. But yeah, the people who offer you water, that's fine.
In which case, I'm going to go up to one of the other guys and ask for some water so that I can just prep my horse, make sure it's fast, ready, it's not too tired.
Oh, you're going to go back and look at the horses, eh? Okay, yeah, you head back to the horses. There's like two guys that have been left there to look after the horses. They just like nod at you as you approach, and yeah, you just go and check your horse down, make sure it's got some water and stuff. Yeah, it's fine. Okay, so that's what you guys are doing. So, right, also, we're going to call a brief 10-minute break, because it's now just gone 9:15. So, we will be back in 10 minutes' time.
Okay.
And we are back. With sounds and everything.
Oh,
Cool. So, yeah, an hour has now passed, and, the sheriff stands up. He goes, right, everyone ready?
I don't know, my leg hurts.
He just like loads one of his rifles and says, do you want to be the signal boy? Get up.
I'm feeling a bit faint. I might go lie down.
He's like, I'm afraid it's too
I've got
late
to
for that.
tend.
And
I've
he
got to tend to the delicate woman.
And fires in the air, and
What?
everyone streams over the top of this ridge.
I boldly take a knee on top of the ridge and pick some sharp shooting shots off.
Okay, so yeah, basically these guys.
Boldly.
You hear you hear like the
Valiantly.
sound of like cheering and shouting and gunfire as these people run down the ledge. Are you going to shoot from the top or run down and join in?
I have a revolver, so I'm gonna run down.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to run down.
Okay.
I'm going to boldly, valiantly possibly shoot the sheriff.
Are you going to actually try and shoot the sheriff?
Maybe.
I'm gonna shoot
I'm just sitting there with my rifle, like look at who is immediately next to me
Well, basically, you've,
of us.
Well, whoever wants to be next to you. Everyone, all the other guys are now with the sheriff are running down the ridge or running down the side of this hill.
In which case,
Firing
that'll
as
be
they
me
run.
then.
Okay.
I'm the one next to you, apparently.
The other shirker. Okay. I'm just like, I said I would. Should I? I've got the rifle like lined up on the back of his, like just between his shoulder blades.
Wait, see how this pans out.
It'll be too far away by then. I'm not a very good shot.
Oh. Then
You are
give
trying
it a
to
go.
shoot someone in a crowd of other people running down a hill.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's going to be a hard shot anyway to actually pick him out of the crowd.
Give it a go. Can't hurt. He wouldn't know.
Just for extra.
He's not going to know. A bullet hits him from behind. He's not going to know, or take someone else out from behind.
Well, if the bullet hits him from behind, he's definitely not going to know.
That's true. However, it would then be fairly apparent when they go, "What happened to the sheriff? He seems to have been shot."
Could have
So,
ricocheted.
could have
Could have
ricocheted.
been an accident.
Yeah.
Very well could have
You
been.
know,
If you want to take the
dragging
shot,
a posse of
You're not
unexperienced gunmen out into the wilderness,
if you want to take
engaging
the
in
shot,
a gunfight. Yeah,
You're
I'm fucking gonna take the shot.
not here. You're
I'm
not
gonna
here, Von.
I'm taking the shot. I'm
okay.
going to raise my voice and shout, "Covering fire!" And then I'm going to use a legendary point to attempt to shoot this guy square in the back.
Okay, cool. Go for it. Take a shot.
Okay, what have I got?
Can I assist him by
13.
saying something like, down a little bit more, dear?
So, what are you trying to spot for him?
Yeah.
Okay. What are you going to advise? How are you going to advise him? You going to say like, "Oh, just wait a second, like wait for the right
No.
time," and
Yeah. Wait, down a little bit, and go.
Okay. All right, then. Yeah, I'll say like, yeah, it looks like a rough shot, but with a bit of assistance from her, yet you do manage to strike him with it. So yeah, you see him kind of like stumble as he takes a bullet.
Sweet. Right.
When you say stumble, is he dead?
How much damage do you do?
I do 14 damage.
Ouch.
14. Okay.
Yeah. What a glorious 9.
Okay. He stumbles forward, but he's he doesn't look dead yet.
Yeah. And I'm going to continue to fire like a few shots just sort of in the air in that general direction, like, I'm shooting!
Okay.
But that was the only one I'm actually aiming.
Okay. And the rest of you guys, so Kitten, you were helping him with that shot, weren't you? So Dev, what are you doing? Are you running down the hill with them?
Yeah, I'm running down the hill.
Okay. You run down the hill. You see the people are starting to run to cover. You see a few of them picking up bows, and a couple of them are you see one particularly running towards you with an axe.
I take a shot.
Okay, go for it.
I miss. I take a second shot because I have that perk that allows me to do so.
Go for it.
I may not miss. 14 to hit.
14. Yeah, you managed to get them straight in the chest.
Nice.
And yeah, you see she basically like runs at you, takes the shot, and just kind of stumbles, drops to her knee, drops the thing, kind of clutches at her chest, and just falls flat down to the floor. And yeah, so next we've got Spanners. What are you doing?
Okay, so I'm running down the hill as well.
Okay.
And I have my cutlass
Okay.
in one hand and a revolver in the other.
Okay. Are you going to run at someone and try and hit them with the sword, or are you going to stand back and shoot? Or are you going to run forward shooting and then try and find someone to hit?
I'm going to get up close and personal with someone.
Okay. Yeah, you see there's there's this a figure with an axe has just swung at a one of the other blokes with you and managed to like get him in the arm with the axe, and he's staggered back, kind of clutching his arm, and they turn to run at you. You see it's a woman, and she runs at you with the axe and tries to attack you. You can attack first though because it's your go.
Okay.
Are we attacking the crash? Just a bunch of women and kids.
Right. So I'm gonna go for this woman. We are armed, aren't we?
Arm CC, yeah.
So D6. No. Oh, I've lost it completely.
12 to hit. D12.
D12 to hit.
D6 damage.
Yeah. I have a brain. Promise. Oh shit. 10.
10. Okay. You go to. Are you stabbing with it or slashing with it?
I'm gonna stab her.
Okay.
Yeah.
You go to stab at her, and she just twists around it and lashes at you with an axe. We'll roll back to that in just a second. And Doc, what are you doing?
I'm also running down. I'm also going to shout out that I just saw the sheriff shoot himself in the back.
Okay. Lots of
and,
people shouting lots of things at the moment, so it's a bit hectic.
No. And I'm going to find some enemy type person.
There's a fairly nearby. You can see these tents, and you see a boy step out from the tent with an arrow drawn, and he draws it, and he aims for Bertha.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to try and
He looks to be about 10.
almost try and decapitate him with my hooked knife.
So you're going to run up to him, stab him, rather than shoot him then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I can't shoot because I've only got my hooked knife.
Oh, okay. I thought you had a...
No,
yeah,
I wanted melee.
Okay, go for it.
That is 15
Okay, yeah, you've definitely hit him.
and
Harsh.
10 damage.
Okay, yeah, you just slice into his neck, and you just see the spray of arterial blood there, and he drops the bow and kind of collapses to the floor, kind of grabbing his neck.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you've that's sort of you guys done now. The rest of the group running there shooting, and yeah, there's just this enormous sound of like firing guns and smoke from the powder everywhere. Spanish, someone was just about to attack you with an axe. Nope, she's too distracted at trying to dodge your thing, so you both just whiff madly as you're trying to dodge around each other. And then there was one of the who was it? The Doc. An arrow wishes through the air and misses you completely. Just flies off past your shoulder, and you can see that further inside the tent there's another boy, probably about 10 again, and you can see there's another couple of very young kids behind him, and he's just trying to draw another arrow at the moment. So if we go back to Rat again, you've noticed at this point, looking around, that most of the offenders appear to be women and children.
Okay. I am going to. Should I? I am going to run back down the slope on the other side to my horse.
You mean you're going to run back up the slope? Basically, this is a valley. You've just run down from either side.
I haven't run anywhere.
Oh, so you're
I
still
stayed
at the top. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Yes, I'm going to go down the ridge on the other side, back to my horse.
Yeah.
And I'm going to ride my horse around the ridge to tell the people on the other side that we haven't found it. We haven't seen any men. Like, the men folk are somewhere. There's a raiding party of nomads that aren't here.
They've all run down into the actual valley.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to ride through, and I'm not going to go and talk to the sheriff.
Okay.
So the guys coming into the camp from the other side need to know what we know.
Okay, well, they've all run down to meet in the middle. So you've got the camp in the middle, the two valley walls, and both of them have run down the valley into the camp in the middle. So you can go to the top of that valley if you want, but everyone's already gone because they've run down the valley. Apart from the couple of guys out there with the horse, probably. So you're going to go talk to them, or?
Actually, bugger it. I'm just going to ride my horse. I'm just going to go back into the fray with my horse. I can use a rifle from horseback.
Yeah.
To stay away from the danger. So, yeah.
Yeah, you can ride into the mouth of the valley, that's fine. Yeah, you ride round and come in from the mouth of the valley. You can see, as you're coming around the edge of the valley, you can see there are some children being run out with some of the women basically firing arrows behind them and trying to basically flee out this exit.
I'm going to shoot at the people leading the children away.
Okay.
Because apparently that's the kind of horrible bastards we are today. Unbeknownst to me, they've got a doctor in a valley murdering children. But I'm going to shoot at creche workers.
Okay.
Apparently. I'm going to shoot badly at creche workers. It's an 8.
Okay.
Total.
Yeah, you fire off a bullet. You see it kind of like kick up dirt just behind them, and one of them turns around, sees you, and fires an arrow back at you. Let's just see whether we can do anything first of all. No, that's a bit startled, and it just flies wide. But you see, basically, she pulls another arrow out, and one of the other women there kind of runs up towards you with an axe, and another one continues trying to lead the children away. And the rest of you guys, so if we go back to Ken, the rat has just abandoned you, run off and grabbed his horse and ridden off somewhere.
Asshole.
Cavalry has a sound tactical advantage.
Can I see the war and stuff?
The what, sorry?
Can I see what's going on?
Oh yeah, you're at the top of this valley. You have a fantastic eagle-eye view of what's going on below you. It's basically wanton slaughter is occurring. At this point, most of the adults have been killed or disabled. You can see that's like the men are just going around with pistols and basically finishing off some of the wounded one. You can see some of the women being dragged into tents and things, but it looks like the fight's pretty much over.
Okay. Cool. I'll wait till they're done.
Okay. Are you going to head down into the valley or wait up at the top?
Gonna wait up the top.
Okay. Okay, so Dev, what are you up to?
Well, I'm not going to shoot things anymore.
Okay.
Having realised it's women and children.
They're basically all already dead by this point.
Yeah. I want to try and prevent the rape of these women.
Okay. Okay. There's several blokes kind of dragging women off into the, or several groups of blokes rather dragging women off into huts. What are you gonna ride up there, guns blazing, or?
No, I'm talking about it.
Okay.
Hey, we ain't animals. What are you doing? No better than them if you do that.
But so, they're animals anyway. What's it matter?
They're people too. It's on the other side.
Can I get you to take a manipulate check?
I'm not really manipulating them.
No, you're just trying to convince them that, like, you're trying to like appeal to the sense of humanity within them.
I likely fail. Manipulate charisma, I assume.
You got any juicy legendaries?
I will legendary that.
There we are.
That's a bit better. 10.
10. Kind of looks a bit shifty around it. Alright, fine. He's like, alright lads, come on. Let's go see what else is laying around here. And they go off and start looting bodies instead.
Better.
And they were so high and mighty about me looting bodies earlier.
Yeah, but these aren't their people. And yeah, there's basically a beaten up woman there. Looks to be like late teens. She seems to have been shot at least once, but she doesn't appear to be in imminent danger of death.
Yeah, you alright there, little lady?
she glares at you like you will die for this.
Probably. Not yet. Anyway, I guess you're a prisoner. Guess.
She just curls up at your feet and just waits for someone to kill or attack her or whatever's going to happen next. Okay, what are the rest of you doing while Dev takes a prisoner?
Am I still near this woman with the axe?
She's been shot and she's dead now.
Excellent. Is she close by?
Yeah.
Cool. Which case I am going to steal her axe. And I'm going to have the skirt too.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you
Doesn't need it.
you strip her of her skirt and leave her laying naked on the floor, and yeah, you now have a nomad skirt.
Excellent.
That's not going to confuse matters at all in the swirling melee.
I'm going to wear it like a cape.
Yeah, I assume you're not actually putting it on. I assume you're not getting changed in the midst of like remnants of battle. Okay, yeah. So I assume there's still someone running up to attack the rat outside actually, because
Yes.
they've managed to flee from the melee. So one of them's going to try and hit you with an axe and succeed.
Ouch.
And hits you for a mighty 5 points of damage.
Ouch.
She just like bats at you with this thing. And then you see the several of the other blokes kind of like come running out and start firing with rifles. And are you going to shoot her or?
Yeah, I'm going to pull out my borrowed posse pistola, and
Yep.
I'm going to shoot her straight in the goddamn face.
Okay,
This horrible bitch just buried an axe in my leg. I'm going to shoot her right in the teeth.
okay.
10.
10. Yeah, because you're right next to her, you just pull your pistol out, aim up under the chin and fire, and it basically just goes in to her jaw, blows the jaw out, and just makes a real mess of her face. And yeah, she dies messily, and the rest
Yeah.
of the guys running in finish off the rest of the women and fleeing children.
They finish off the children.
Yeah.
Holy shit. I'm going to desperately try and interpose myself between them and the children.
Okay.
They don't need to kill the children.
Oh no, they don't need to kill them, but to be fair, they probably didn't really need to kill anyone here, but their blood's up now and they're just firing anything that's moving. So, in that case, if you want to interpose yourself, I expect there will be some kind of... you're physically trying to throw yourself in front of the bullets, yeah?
Well, I'm going to ride my horse into the way. Like, what the fuck do you think you're doing?
Okay, I get you to do a... If you're gonna... It'll probably be a manipulate check, because you're trying to shout at them and get them to stop shooting, rather than actually physically getting in the way. So that'll be a manipulate check.
If I use sufficient blue language, could it be an intimidate?
Yeah?
Excellent.
Though it depends, are you using charismatic intimidate or using intellectual intimidate?
I'm going to use intellectual intimidation on the simple basis of they're only fucking children, you idiots!
Okay,
What the hell could they possibly have done? And it's only an 8.
An 8.
So, yeah.
Okay. A couple of them stop shooting, and a couple of them don't.
Yeah, not enough to save the children.
No, not. Well, to be fair, they there's probably enough to stop them dying immediately, but still enough to put lots of holes in them.
Yeah, I'm just gonna ride off. I don't need to see this.
You can still hear it.
There's nothing. Yeah. Oh yeah. There's nothing I can do about that.
Yeah.
But Rat may be a horrible, avaricious, untrustworthy, thieving scum, but he doesn't murder children.
You tried.
And he's not going to hang around and watch it happen either.
Okay. So yeah, so the battle's now over. You guys have you can basically assemble back together again.
Are we separate from everyone? Or are we alone?
Well, the apart from Rat, everyone else was together. But
Can we gather together somewhere away from the main group?
yeah, I mean everyone's pretty busy, kind of going around and looting bodies and things at the moment.
Okay. So yeah, we'll gather up. And it's like, so back to plan A. Get these motherfuckers killed.
I'm good with that.
Yeah, let's do it.
I think that's a little bit too late now for that, is it not?
Oh no, I think these guys didn't look like they're warriors.
No, they don't, but
Yeah,
we don't have anyone to pin it on now.
we don't need to pin it on anyone. We can just
Yeah,
ride
okay.
away. They're idiots who don't know their way back.
Alright, yep, let's go.
You know, we just wait for them to get good and lashed up in the celebrations tonight, and then we leave.
Sounds good.
What shape is the sheriff in?
You haven't
That's a good
seen him
point.
yet. You could see he was last time you saw him. He was wandering around in town shooting people with his pistols. In the camp.
Right.
But he was alive last time you saw him. That's what you mean.
Okay.
Okay. So does this, do they stand around jubilantly, celebrating their victory over the women and children?
Yeah, they seem pretty excited. There's lots of cheering and shouting.
Okay. They just literally just hang around going yay for like hours until night.
No,
or what?
they're for there's a little bit of cheering. They go around and they basically like check the bodies. They search around to see if any of the villagers are still here, but they don't find anyone. And then they head back to the where they camp. Actually they just head back towards town because they came here to find these people. They couldn't find any villagers, but they've avenged the other village being destroyed. So
Okay.
are you going to go and try and find the sheriff, or are you guys going to just steer clear? Or
Well, if the sheriff is alive, then he may well put two and two together, so maybe we need to go and finish him off.
so at the moment you can see people are starting to head back in towards the area where you camped last night. Just to kind of people are leaving slowly. It looks like some of the people are trying to search around and desperately find evidence of their missing families and things. So they're literally just digging through the sand nearby, just looking for anything they can. And others are basically like nothing here, and they're heading back to meet up back where the camp was. So you see people going back and forth in drips and drabs, and you haven't seen the sheriff leave yet. So it looks like he's still in the village there. You could go up to the top of the ridge and take a look down if you want. I'll give you a top-down view.
We could always stay here and wait for the more unmotivated people to wander off back to the camp, and then dispose of the sheriff.
You're going to wait for the sheriff to come past and jump him, mate.
Well, I assume he's going to stay with the people he's sworn to protect. The people who are frenziedly looking for their families.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't gone past yet. I mean, probably 15 people have so far walked past you and headed back towards town. You came with 40 people, so there's 25 people still in the camp there. And you see the sheriff kind of head out with the same 3 guys who've been hanging with him most of the time. They seem like his cronies. And they head back and start heading back towards the camp. You can see the sheriff is kind of stumbling a bit, and you can see he's kind of holding one of his arms, kind of like he's been shot in the shoulder region.
Now the question is, did we use that time to go into the village and collect like arrows and things, so we can just like stab him to death with fucking arrows? Just be like, the natives got him, or
Just as he was leaving the camp after they killed everyone, somehow he got away.
more
But
nomads.
to be fair,
the
where
menfolk.
the person who like hit you with an axe, there was a bow and arrow there, so if you wanted to go a bow and some arrows, you could do so.
Yeah, I'm gonna take some trophies.
Okay.
You know, or at least that's what I'm going to tell anyone who asks me what I'm doing.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, but you know, to be fair, we're too far away from town to just ride back, aren't we?
You could
A
just
single
ride.
day.
I mean, it would be you haven't got much water, but you can head back to town. It would take you about a day.
I mean, like the general flow of people isn't just going straight to town.
No, they're going back
Okay.
to meet up because they're basically heading back to the horses, and then probably going to go and meet up a little way away because there's a battle site here. Probably doesn't smell that great being near it, so as soon as people don't need to be there anymore, they're leaving, and
True.
they're basically
Oh,
meeting
yeah,
up back at
just-
the horses.
Just
Nuts.
follow the lot then.
Yeah, that's basically where the sheriff looks like he's heading as well.
Yeah.
So you can avoid him and just like skirt around. There's enough
Yeah.
people here for you to kind of stay out of sight, and he looks. You can see as he's walking along, he's not really kind of searching around for anyone. He's obviously kind of just basically focusing on putting one foot in front of the other and kind of holding onto his arm.
Yeah. Yes. Well, I think the plan might have changed slightly. The plan might now be to, wait till he goes to sleep and stab him in the throat with a fucking arrow. Just be like, the nomads. Oh, they're mystical and weird. They managed to sneak into the camp and kill him.
So yeah, I mean, it takes like the most determined people take like. I mean, you launch this attack just after sun up this morning, so the most determined people finally give up and admit there's nothing here and leave about just after midday. So yeah, it's probably like mid-afternoon or so at this point, but there's a few people who took some injuries and things, so they've decided that the sheriff calls out and says like, yeah, we're gonna camp, set the camp up again here. It's a good place, and from here they can ride back and get home again the next day. So gives everyone a chance to patch themselves up a bit and have some food and recover. So yeah, it's gonna settle down and patch themselves up. So you're just going to avoid the sheriff, because he's basically just gone and sat down next to one of the fires, and someone's attending his wound.
Yeah, I don't know what everyone else is doing, but Rat's going to wait till the sheriff's asleep.
Okay.
He's going to boldly, valiantly murder a man while he sleeps. For justice.
Yeah. So anyone else going to be doing anything, or are you just going to be kind of keeping that sheriff's way and just chilling until evening?
Yeah.
Also, what are you doing with your prisoner?
Yeah. Well, before they started executing women and children, I was going to use her to find out where her camp is. But now I kind of feel like letting her go.
Okay. You're just going to take her away and just let her go?
Yeah, I want to pretend to keep her as my prisoner while people are watching, and then take her out as though I'm about to rape her, and then
Fair enough.
tell her,
Yeah, you just drag her out like to the edge of camp where no one's looking, and then you just let her go.
go home, tell them where we are.
She just glares at you for a few seconds, then turns and runs off into the desert. You see it. She disappears remarkably quickly, like she just runs up the slope, then suddenly seems to duck behind something, and then suddenly she's gone. And see, she is gone. So yeah, then you're going to meet up with everyone else again, yeah?
Yep.
Cool. Right. So, anyone else going to be up to anything before night falls?
Have we seen Jimmy let her go?
No, he took her out away from anywhere else, unless anyone was going with him at the time. Might be a bit weird if some of the women go with him, but yeah.
when he comes back, I am going to regard him as the basest scum on this earth.
It's fine.
Rat may be a thief, and a murderer, and a philanderer, and a filth, but he's not a rapist.
You can hold the moral high ground for maybe the first time in your life.
Yep. Also, don't kill kids. No kids, no raping.
If you at all, say anything, then he's obviously just going to tell you that she's not dead. She's not been raped or dead.
Oh no, I'm not going to say anything. That
Just gonna say.
he hasn't lived this long, like, you know, bursting out and declaring his moral outrage to people. You know, telling them that he's going to do horrible things to them. He just does them quietly while they're not looking.
Yeah, if it's night and we're alone, then I'll probably come back and say, right, I've let her go. She's gonna go to the camp, tell him where we are. We probably won't be out of the camp by then.
Okay. So yeah, it's now night, and you guys have basically anyone who was wounded has had a chance to patch themselves up a bit. And yeah, if there's anything you want to do at night, like get him to assassinate the sheriff.
Yeah. Right, guys. Here's the plan. Okay. If you don't want to go through with it, if you don't want to go along with it, that's fine. But I'm doing this. Right. We need you to go. Which side of the camp did you go with the girl? Pick
Just
a
out of
direction.
camp outside.
Yeah.
Like
It's just direction.
west.
Okay. So go to the west side of camp. And like fire your guns, make a ruckus, you know, be loud. Draw attention. Say that the natives are there, they're attacking. But wait for my signal before you do it. You'll know what happened. You'll know what it is.
Right. I prefer to know like right now.
I'll fire my rifle in there.
Alright.
You know, it's not going to be sneaky.
Yeah, so it's
gonna
just
be pretty
no
obvious.
confusion.
Okay.
So do you want all of us to go that in?
Yeah. Take your horses.
Yeah.
And take your horses, set up a fire that side of camp. You know. And we'll declare the savages are there, you know. We'll start firing our guns and we'll ride off into the night.
Are you suggesting that you're just going to take the sheriff out?
Now, when have I ever killed anyone?
All right. What
I'm
about the
not a
rest of these
killer.
fuckers?
I'm not a killer. But I could be persuaded. It's alright. Do these guys, do you all, you know, get on to do this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Right. I'm going to attempt to sneak up to the sheriff's, like, wherever the sheriff's sleeping. So I assume he will be after receiving a horrible wound.
Yeah, he's asleep. Yeah, him and his guys are asleep around a fire, kind of towards the middle of camp.
Yeah.
Can I get you to take a sneak check, see if you can get there without being noticed, or without waking anyone up? Some people might be a bit edgy, just like, you know, masculine villager.
18.
Okay, yeah, you manage to sneak over
But
there,
fuck
and
his
you,
ghost.
yeah, you sneak over there without waking anyone, and you just kneel down next to the sheriff, and he's fast asleep. He's laying flat on his back at the moment.
Excellent. I take one of the arrows out of like the quiver of arrows I nicked.
Yeah.
And I just stab it forcefully into his throat.
Okay. Can I get you to take a stealth check, see how quietly you can do this? So, I'm going to say you basically killed him at this point, it's just whether he makes a noise.
It's another 18.
Okay. Yeah, you basically, like, you just clap a hand over his mouth at the same time as you stab this into his throat, and he kind of, his eyes are like wide, and he kind of makes like a sound. But it's not enough to wake anyone else, and no one else seems to be reacting to you doing this.
I slap a hand over his mouth. He opens his eyes and goes, "Die, you prick." And then I'm going to, you know, I'm going to get up, like, you know, walk casually back towards my fire, And just as I'm entering the firelight, that the other guys can see me, I'm going to fire the rifle in the air and like shout, "The savages are here!"
Okay. As soon as you do that, there's this like huge like all this shouting, and other people also start firing at the air and in every direction. You can hear ricochets bouncing off rocks, and you hear a few kind of like shouts and screams as people are actually shooting each other in the dark. And yeah, pandemonium kicks off basically.
Good.
Just time to make our escape.
So I mount the fuck out of my horse and I ride the fuck away.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see if anyone notices this. No, there are like random shots going off like in all directions, and you hear a few ping off nearby you, but yeah, no one actually hits you.
Mm.
And yeah, you're away into the night.
Excellent. Right.
Cool.
Excellent.
You'll
Now the
follow?
plan, yeah, the best idea, what we can do now is we go back to the camp, the nomads camp, and we grab a bunch of stuff like crap, and then we just go back to town, and we go look at all this stuff we got when we rode off them, we routed them. Like here's like some of their shit that we nicked, and that way we're heroes and cowards,
Okay.
and we got justice.
Okay, yeah, so you're gonna go grab a few bits from the campfire. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you ride down there, and yeah, I mean, people didn't really bother looting them because they're like the axes and bows they've got are just like
Oh yeah,
don't
yeah.
have any like interest to anyone else. So yeah, you can grab a couple of axes and some bows and things.
In the old, I assume there's like some men's clothing laying around
Yeah,
somewhere.
there's other clothing. It does look like there are men in this camp. They just weren't here at this time.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. I said I'm just gonna like, take some men's clothes, like some boots, some crappy old weapons.
Yeah.
Whatever we could just go like, yeah, we looted it from the enemy when we killed them.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, you grab some like trophies, and
Yeah.
are you gonna head back the trail? Back past the town where it was attacked, and then head back towards high noon, or
Well, I reckon we should hang back for a little while, at least until like the settlers leave,
yeah. I mean,
and
it's
then ride
probably
it back into town.
yeah. I mean, you could work your way round them in the dark probably fairly easily. You could either go the other way round the Messer and avoid them completely, or just work your way round the this near it. I mean, it's quite a clear night. There's not clouds or anything, so the moonlight is actually reasonably bright, so you can see fairly easily from it.
Well, the brutality and subterfuge part of the plan is done. Now it's everyone else's job to get me safely back to town. I was angry and did something silly. Now everyone else needs to save.
I'm not sure if we should just leave. Maybe we could stay out of the way and make sure these guys will get killed. 'Cause if they come back to town, we could get in trouble.
Why?
So we're like, you guys left us.
We've got trophies. We've got proof.
Yeah.
We raised the alarm. We rode them off. Did the savages attack the rest of the camp?
Don't know yet.
Well, no, because we only pretended they were there. We scared them away when we charged. We can come back whenever we want, as long as it's, a decent length of time. And go, look what heroes we are. We just, leave it at that.
What about if the savages did go? Or
Well, if they do, that's why we're
savages
leaving it at that.
went in.
So
There were some people there that maybe deserved to get savaged.
Well, that's why Jimmy told the savages where we were, isn't it?
Okay.
there's that cave just south of the village, where there's water and shelter there, so you could go and hide there for a day or so if you want.
When?
I'd say
Go
you'd be
to
able
the
to
lizard
find.
cave.
Yeah, it's pretty close. I'd say you'd be able to find your way there pretty easily. It's only a couple of hours away.
Cool.
Yeah.
Right. We've got 3 votes, so sorry you two. Come on.
All right, yeah, you ride your way over there. I'm assuming you're taking it fairly easy as you're riding at night. It's fairly
hell yeah.
bright, but it's still night. So yeah, you ride over there. It takes you probably it would normally take you a couple of hours. It takes you about 4 hours because it's night and you guys are taking it easy. You get there just as dawn's coming. It's pre-dawn at the moment. It's still dark, but you can see it gets that kind of like quite dark stage just before the sun comes up.
Yeah.
Okay. Do we want to check the cave to make sure that there's nothing in it?
So yeah, I mean you can see the mouth of the cave, but you can't see anything in the cave at all because it's pitch black because the moonlight's coming straight down rather than angling into the cave or anything.
Do we have a torch or anything to see in?
Don't think so, unless any of you have acquired a torch.
Have a small gold prospecting pan. Fill it with something flammable and ignite it with a gunshot.
I love that you're just carrying this thing everywhere.
Well, I'm only carrying the small one. It's like this.
All right.
You know, I've got a backpack and very few objects, so I'm just carrying as much as I can.
I mean, there is some dry shrub around, so you could conceivably create a fire given a bit of effort. I'm going to assume, like, you guys one of you, probably Rat, has managed to steal like a flint at some point.
Yeah. Well, I do have listed here odds and ends.
Yeah.
So I assume someone like at some point had like a,
you
a
nicked
book
a
of
load
matches
of
or
odds and ends
something.
of someone, didn't you? Yeah. So yeah, I would say you've got some you've got some fire making equipment there that you can use to start. You can set fire to one of these bits of shrub, and it would give you a little bit of light.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to take the small gold prospecting pan. I'm going to chuck some like broken up dry shrub on there and set it on fire.
Okay.
And just
You now have a small portable fire.
Yeah. I'm just going to hand it to someone larger and bolder than me and tell them to go into the cave. I made the fire. That was my job.
I assume you had it to Bertha then.
Right then, I'm going into the cave.
Yeah.
You're handing it to the biggest, most capable person. It's like, here, go explore the cave.
Yeah. Yeah. We're all behind you, he says with a rifle.
Right, so I take the slightly dripping fire and head on into the cave.
Okay, yeah, it's a pretty small cave. It only goes back about 10 foot. It's and you're just going to go in there. You can see as you walk in there with light, you can see lots of scurrying. There's various different lizards and things kind of duck back into holes in the wall, but there's nothing large in here.
Okay. Right. In which case, if there are any lizards that I can feasibly catch, I'm going to try and catch that so we can eat.
Go for it. If you can take a dexterity. So you can take a sneak check for me.
Oh.
Or you could take, if you're going to try and set up a trap or something, you could do a craft check. But
It's not good. Be better if it was craft.
you can set up a craft trap if you want. I'll say you've got your
It's
hammer and
craft.
a knife and things. You can set up a little trap.
Yeah, it's totally craft.
Okay.
That'll be a 9.
Okay. You set up a little trap and you just leave it over one of these holes. You set up such a way so that if anything comes out, it'll basically dislodge it and drop the hammer on it, which you hope will work. And yeah, you just leave it there. And, hopefully something will pop out at some point.
I love the idea of there just being like a tiny twig and this fucking enormous blacksmith's hammer.
Basically.
Just propped up on it and you sit there with a string. Little lizard thunk, bam!
It's pretty
It's,
much what you've done.
Minced lizard.
Schnitzel.
Oh, that would be an interesting word to try and find out what it is in German. Like lizard schnitzel.
Lizard schnitzel.
I imagine it would sound amazing. But anyway,
So,
right.
Anyway, the rest of you are sitting there, chilling, I guess, and
Yeah.
the Bertha is sitting there chilling and watching her twig with a string attached to it to see if she can catch herself a lizard.
Bertha, what's going on?
Getting your dinner. Lizards. You liked the lizards last time. Doc, less so much.
Yeah.
It's
Right,
okay,
so
Doc's got his stones.
yeah, there's no bear or coyote or wolf or nothing.
There's lizard, and you've
Right,
eaten
and I
it.
just stroll in. I just walk in. I literally just sent someone large and appetizing looking into the cave to see what the growls came out.
To be fair, I mean,
When she sits
you would
there
have
quietly
seen
with
her
a hammer.
times. It's like this cave is like just a little recess in the rock. It's not like a deep cave that goes somewhere.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, you would have seen her walk in there, set down the fire, and start preparing this trap. So
Yeah.
and nothing attacked her, not
Yeah.
even a lizard yet, but she's waiting.
Working on it.
Yeah.
I'm working on it.
Cool. I'll say at this point, sun's started to come up, and yeah, I'll say after about half an hour, a lizard sticks his head out, and you manage to set your trap off and catch yourself a lizard.
Okay, in which case I take the flat lizard, and I combine it with the fire.
Okay, cool. You do indeed. So you can
Yes,
even
the
impale it
evil
on a
style.
stick and have a small lizard kebab.
Yes.
I can hand you a primitively made arrow to use as a stick. Use as a kebab.
Lizard on a stick.
You have a lizard on a stick, a cooked lizard on a stick.
Woo! How fallout of you.
Dine tonight.
There you go. Between all 5 of us.
Indeed. You each
We
get
have
like
a living.
2 of you get, or 4 of you get a small leg each, and then someone gets the tail. And then you can just like pick at the bones and the rest of it, I guess.
Yum.
It's far from the most appetising or filling meal you've ever had, but it gives you something to chew on at least. Cool. So, how long are you guys going to chill out here for? Because it's now morning. You assume that these guys, because they've all got horses, they'll probably be making it back to the town.
Why are they
Probably.
going back to town?
Sorry?
They haven't killed the nomads yet. Why would they go back to town?
They
Oh,
were going to head back to town. That was their next stop.
Yeah. Because they're a posse rather than an army. What
Yeah.
they do is they rush out into the wilderness, they kill the first thing they see, and then they go home.
Basically, they went there, they killed things, their family wasn't there, it sucks, they're now going home.
Yeah. Mob justice.
So, yeah, mob justice and frontier land.
Mm.
Of questionable
Yes.
efficiency and, like, moral.
Anyway, 35 people on horses, ride past at some point in the morning. We don't even need to move from the cave. We'll probably notice.
Yeah, you probably notice. I'll say, you can hear, like, the distant sounds of... People they're not trying to travel quietly or anything, you can hear the sounds of conversations and, like, horses moving past. You hear them pass forward about... say, like, a few hours after sun's come up. We'll say about 3 hours after sun's come up. And then, I guess you just wait to let them a time to pull ahead.
Yep.
Cool, okay. After another couple of hours, the light starts to fade slightly, and you basically hear a storm swooping in. It comes up from the south, and it kind of blows up a dust storm. And over the course of about an hour, it builds up until it's a case of like you can't see. You can only see like a meter or two ahead of you. You can like sitting around each other inside this cave. It's not as bad, but looking outside, like if you were to walk more than a couple of meters away from the mouth of the cave, you wouldn't be able to find your way back again.
Yeah, I was going to say we should probably just stay in the cave during a storm.
Yeah,
Entirely fuck leaving the cave.
indeed.
Yeah.
Okay,
I will call this place Cavetopia. It is my cave.
okay, cool. This storm blows on for about. It goes on for about 3 hours, and then fades very quickly. It just peters out to nothing over the span of about 5 minutes.
Once it's gone, I want to poke my head outside.
Okay, you stick your head outside. It's still a bit murky because you've still got a lot of sand settling, but the wind has basically faded down to a gentle breeze. But you can see a lot further than you could before. You can still see like 100 meters or so.
Okay, guys, when should we head back?
Soon as.
Yeah?
Probably
Yeah.
Nothing
mid-afternoon
stopping
now.
us now.
Storm's over, so we can do it now if you want.
We can get back before dusk.
Yeah, you reckon you could probably... probably after dusk, by the time you get back, you'll probably be riding through the night for a bit. Because it takes...
To be fair,
Takes
there are
most of the
worse
day.
things.
Yeah.
There are worse things than setting up camp outside of the wildlands, like closer to town.
Yeah, I mean, you could either wait here another night and go for and go head off in the morning, or you could head off now and you'd probably be getting back several hours after dark.
Okay. I don't fancy eating more lizards, so
Yeah, you probably are pretty hungry as well by now, because the last thing you ate was, like, dinner yesterday. Actually, no, breakfast. A dried breakfast yesterday was the last thing you ate.
God damn it, Jimmy. You should have got your native to get some food.
So you're going to head back now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
There was a farm outside of town, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Like, so we'd be riding towards town, and then suddenly found ourselves surrounded by fresh grown food.
Yeah, the farm's just slightly outside of town. It's about like a 10-minute walk from town.
seemed like a sensible place to head.
Yeah. You go there and buy some nice fresh produce, and possibly force our way in with guns and have somewhere to sleep the night.
Okay, so yeah, you're heading back towards town now then, yeah.
Yeah. Because
Cool.
we're heroes.
Can I get you guys to take a perception check as you're riding back?
6. Apparently I look around with my eyes closed.
5.
A hand over one of my ears.
12.
Okay.
8.
Okay. So the highest was what, a 12?
Yeah, 12.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you managed to find the path back. It looks a little bit different because after the storm, there's kind of the sand's moved around, and as you're riding along, you see there's basically like several dunes that are formed kind of like along the length of the road, and as you're riding along, you're looking along, and suddenly you see a horse's leg sticking out of one of the dunes.
How fresh is this leg?
Pretty fresh. It doesn't appear to be rotted or anything.
I call lunch.
Okay. Yeah, you go and I assume you're going to go and unearth the rest of this horse.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, you unearth
Got
the
an axe,
horse.
you could just hack the leg off.
But there might be more horse under the...
Yeah.
You
You
sound
might
like
just
a
find a
horse.
random severed horse leg sticking out of June. Like, oh, this is weird. But yeah, on further investigations, there is indeed a horse attached to the horse's leg, and indeed a rider attached to the horse. Well, not attached to it, but certainly would have been sitting on it at some point. You can see that the horse has obviously taken some kind of blow to its neck, which is probably, you assume, what killed it. And the rider himself is missing his eyes.
Well, I feel
Fancy
like our
losing
plan
a rock.
worked.
Well, that's, different.
Does he have any shiny things on him?
Yeah, he's got
That would really salve my grief.
he's got a rifle and a couple of shots.
Is it a shiny rifle?
No shinier than any other rifle we've seen.
Something to sell. I purloined myself a second rifle.
Okay, cool.
And he has no eyes. Does it look like they've been forcibly removed, or they're just not there?
Would you like to take a medical check for me?
Did they just decide to be elsewhere? It's like, you know
Well, I've
what?
lost
This place
them
is
a while ago.
boring. Bam!
I've got a world to see.
Yeah. We'll get back to town, there'll just be a bar full of eyes.
In jars.
No, just wandering around with little legs,
9.
drinking whiskey.
And wings.
A 9.
No. Not wearing
A
established
9.
enough.
Okay, you can see that basically like the remains of his pulp tie are still kind of like partially in the socket and partially kind of spread around, so it looks like they were probably gouged.
Ooh, lovely.
Nasty.
Nice. Okay. So we've basically left the children in the village and buggered off with a load of soldiers, and these guys have come in and just gouged out eyes. Right.
Well, this guy you found is one of the blokes who was part of the posse that rode out.
Oh, in that case, he probably deserved it. Right, so should we head on into the farm and see if there are any more eyeless men?
Okay, yeah. Yeah, you ride the rest of the way back to town. It's so it takes a as you ride along, you see there are several more of these kind of like humps that you've identified as basically like people that have been buried under sand drifts. You see there's basically like little clusters of them. There'll be like 3 or 4, and then there'll be a like a half-mile gap, and there'll be another couple. It looks like these people were like taken out in like 1s and 2s. And riding along, you probably count about another like 15 of these. And then the light starts to fade.
Women and children.
Fuck.
Right then.
Right, who fancies riding for the next town? We came here from somewhere, didn't we? I can't remember the name because it's not in my notes.
No.
Shit. Let's go to the mines up north.
Yeah, you travelled like a month, like in carts to get down here from up there.
Fuck.
Not a day trip then.
No.
Pretend to be nomads.
We have a skirt.
We do.
I have arrows. I can't use a bow, but I've got arrows.
We can all share the skirt.
We can all share the skirt. We can be one very fat native with multiple heads.
I buy it.
You can't kill us. We're a medical oddity.
We are your gods.
Wow.
Cut the bill off, it just grows back.
I
Test
feel
it
like
on him.
I feel like we're clutching at straws now.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
So are you heading back
So-
to town, or?
Do we want to get back into town and see if we can hide out somewhere?
At the very least, there'll be like a bunch of dead people and an open bar.
Yeah. If we head towards, I'm convinced her name is Molly. I can't remember the dead woman. I know there's a lot of them now. Yeah.
Something of a pile.
She was the first of many.
She was the first of many. If we head towards her now abandoned house,
Yeah.
we could maybe hide in there.
Okay.
And kind of like survey the scene.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You just head back to town. Say it gets dark and it takes you a few hours to get back to town. It's really slow going this night because you've still got all the dust in the air, so the moonlight is really not coming through that well. So it's a lot darker than it's been the last few nights. It's also not as cold though, which is the bonus. So it actually stays slightly warmer than it was before. So yeah, you manage it. Basically, you get into town around about midnight. No one. You can't see anyone out and about. You can't see any bodies laying around either, though. I mean, there's less sand around here, like built up in the streets, than there was out in the desert. It looks like people may have either cleaned up or the storm wasn't as bad here. But yeah, you're gonna head to the blacksmith's house.
The one that we stole the anvil from.
Yeah. Oh, that's where you said you were heading. Don't know. That's still where you're planning on going.
I kind of want to investigate a bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want a drink.
Yeah, I'm going to check the saloon.
Okay. Yeah, you're gonna go to the saloon. Okay.
There's always somebody in there.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, normally, yeah, it's basically the saloon is basically a 24-hour joint. As you ride towards it, you can't hear any voices though. It sounds very quiet, and you can't see any lights from inside.
Guys, I think we fucked up.
Nah, we didn't fuck up.
Can we
That
get
launches
in?
into one of his sort of torrents of reasoning. It's like, we didn't fuck up. It wasn't our fault. We didn't do anything. I hardly killed anyone.
Right.
So you're standing
Anyway.
outside the saloon at the moment.
I'm going for a drink. I
Okay.
am very thirsty.
You go up and push at the doors, and nice. So we did that. You go up, push at the doors, but you can see like the doors don't move. It feels like there's something behind the door.
But they're saloon doors, so I just pulled them.
And you pull them, yeah. Fine. You pull the doors, and you can see there's basically something else behind the door, blocking it. Piles of something. And
Oh, joy.
you hear a gunshot ring out.
Ouch. I assume.
Nope. You hear a gunshot ring out. You see a flash, and you hear something go ting past your ear.
What the fuck are you doing that for?
You just hear some voice go, "Who's that? I thought everyone was dead." What? You ain't one of those sneaky ones, are you? Stay back.
I want a
we've got-"
drink.
You
This is a saloon, right?
hear some of the guys whispering, and then a light comes on. Someone's getting lit like some kind of lamp or something, and someone comes over. They've got a revolver pointed at you. It's like, "Oh, Barry, we thought you were dead. We thought someone got you in the night. We heard this shooting, and then suddenly heard horses, and then saw that sheriff was dead, and loads of blokes had disappeared. We thought you'd been dragged off. How'd you survive?"
We were chasing the savages away from the camp. Me and this lot, we took chase. I mean, we got trophies, and we got ourselves a proper little score. I mean, and we got lost on the way back in the storm, and this is where we are.
He's like, "Yeah, it's storm. You didn't get attacked then. The red-eyed devils didn't come out the smoke at you."
Red-eyed devils.
Yeah, madmen they were. Leaping about, firing arrows, and hacking at us with these, bare hands. They were tearing and slashing at us. It was something out of hell's.
I think you need a drink and all, mate.
He turns around, nods at his back, and they kind of shift these things out of the way. And you come in. It's basically they've stacked some they had some kind of piano instrument which they leaned up against the door to stop people getting in. And they shuffle it to one side, let you in, and then wedge the door back again. They're like, "Yeah, I think we all need a drink." And he goes back behind the bar and pours everyone out some drinks. It's like, we were waiting till we thought they'd be we ran all the way back to town here, and these things just kept coming out the sand and attack us and disappear before we could get a shot back. And we thought they were going to come and follow us into town, but so far, well, that's what we thought you were, but so far they haven't come into town itself. Maybe they've taken what they want and gone. But
Did
I'm
you say
going to
they
stay
came
here.
out of the sand?
Yeah, literally, we were just riding there. The sandstorm hit. We thought, we're not far away from town. We'll just head back slow. And then suddenly, these lunatics were charging out the sand. 1 second they weren't there, then suddenly someone's swinging an axe at your head. It was crazy, nuts. I don't know. We couldn't see them. I don't know how the hell they were seeing us, but we just rode back to town as fast as we could, which admittedly wasn't that fast because we couldn't see anything. But
Did you see what happened to the others?
well, I assume crazy things coming out the sand, swinging axes at them. That's all I saw. That's how I got this. And he points his head and has got a big cut across the side of his head.
So you didn't see any of the people who were attacked and maybe their faces afterwards?
No, I just rode back to here. It's this lot was what got back, and you can see there's about 10 blokes, kind of sitting around in the saloon, drinking.
This is all that's left of the town.
Well, all the ones that rode back in here, we basically rode straight here and barricaded ourselves in.
Damn.
So, let's get lashed.
Yeah,
So I
I hear
think to do.
Like just
That
as he
sounds
passes out bottles of whiskey and just proceeds to drink heavily.
Passes up bottles of whiskey. I placed one in my backpack. Like, I didn't get a bottle.
There's no shortage of bottles of whiskey going. No one is basically. Most people are just walking behind the bar and just picking stuff up. No one seems to really care about about this at the moment.
Yeah.
They're more concerned about living.
Yeah, I stash at least 2 or 3 bottles of high spirit booze.
Yeah, that's fine. You can do that.
On the off chance we escape, I need the doctor to function in order to keep me alive.
Yeah, I'm assuming the doctor's going absolutely
Do
in
loudly.
absolutely heaven at the moment. Can I? So I guess everyone who's going to be drinking, can I get you all to take poison saves?
Alright. I'm gonna get started.
Well, it depends how much you're drinking. If you're drinking to excess, take a poison save. If you're just like waiting the night out, then you don't need to.
10.
4.
4.
11.
4.
Okay.
4.
4. And kitten.
I'm not drinking.
Okay, fair enough. So everyone that got under 10 basically drinks far too quickly and is unpleasantly ill and then passes out somewhere. You got over 10, then yeah, you drink until you pass out, but you manage to do so in a more kind of like more graceful and distinguished way than the people who've just like fallen asleep in their own vomit. And Kitten, you get to stay awake. You're probably the last person awake, sitting there listening to
Excellent.
the winds and waiting for people to come and kill you in the dark.
Nice.
Your prize.
Way.
Do we get killed in the dark?
No, the sun rises, and I assume you awake at various points during in the morning, and they roll back the piano, put it back on its feet again. It's probably going to need some kind of tuning after this, but they open up the door, go back outside, and the rest of the other people in the town are going about their day. They're kind of like, happy to see these guys back, but they're a bit kind of surprised at how, why everyone barricaded themselves in the pub rather than coming home. And then, basically, as they tell the story of like what happens, some people head out to try and recover bodies and see if anyone was still left alive out there. So what are you guys up to? You've basically been left to your own devices for now.
Oh. Should we go with them and help them recover the bodies and see if we can find out what happened to them?
Yeah, you can go with them if you want.
Or should we see if we can trade the gold prospecting pans, the fancy ass broken watch we stole from Dead Willie, Willie's fancy boots, and a bag full of odds and ends, and see if we can trade that for passage out of town on like the next mail coach?
Where do we go?
Anywhere.
Wait.
Precisely the direction of out the fuck of here.
We could try and join the nomads, they're the nearest. I doubt they'll take us, though.
No, I don't think we made friends.
I don't know, I suppose most of the people you spoke to are probably dead by now, so it's pretty much clean slate time.
I don't know. There's one nomad who might think that at least Jimmy's a relatively worthwhile human being.
Yeah, true.
Yay.
I mean, all the women and children who saw me being a halfway decent human died.
Yeah, I'm sure she's not going to totally like generalise you as being the people who walked in to like wipe out all her extended family and everything.
Maybe.
It's like he didn't kill her. He might have like helped assist like murder everyone else she knows, but
The important thing is that Rat didn't kill any women or children.
Indeed, I'm sure that will totally be like
Well, he killed one woman. I'm thinking about it. But the way that Rat's going to tell this story is that he didn't kill any women or children.
Okay, we'll buy that one. Cool.
That's literally the story he told that night in the pub.
Yeah, I mean, if you're asking about ways out of here, then yeah, basically like they say, yeah, a merchant train comes past like every month or so. So that would be the next way of getting out here, I guess. So the last one came in like a week ago.
So we've got a good 3 weeks before we can skedaddle.
Yeah. Well, do we try and capitalize as four of the 14 glorious heroes who returned from the posse? Do we try and just trade off of local fame and eat and drink and be merry until the wagon train comes in and we can get the fuck out of here?
You seem to be being accepted by the people now. It seems that, having joined the posse and helped the people out and come back alive, you've basically been accepted as part of the town now. The people who were previously scowling at you are now kind of nodding at you and being less hateful.
Yes. Yeah.
Can we find out maybe a little bit more about the mining that they do, and where they've been digging?
Okay. At the moment, basically most of the town have basically gone out to go and retrieve, go look for the bodies and survivors and things. Are you waiting back in town for them to come back, or are you going to go out and meet them?
I think I'm going to go with them, and chat to them while they're finding people.
Yeah, so basically you go and chat with them, and they're going up to pick up the bodies. They just, we just there's a little mine just outside town. It's there's iron there, and iron's useful. I mean, we've never found anything other than iron. I mean, a few rumours go around there's gold and things here, but I've never seen gold, and I don't know anyone personally who's ever found gold here. But there's always hopefuls, I guess. But yeah, mostly we're here for the iron. And living.
Are there any other stories apart from the iron that maybe go around the mine?
Well, minor stories, monsters, ghosts, and such like. But again, I've never seen one, and I don't know anyone who has. But these stories always start somewhere. Friend of a friend of a friend saw a thing or heard a thing.
So when you say ghosts, what sort of ghosts?
I don't know, some wailing from deep inside the cavern, or someone saw this thing.
And whereabouts is the mine?
Just out west of town. Take you out there, show you if you like.
Let me gather the other guys. Maybe we'll have a look.
Okay, are you gonna head?
I'm gonna head back
okay.
towards them. Yeah.
Okay, so I assume the rest of you guys are back in town, or have you gone out as well?
I don't imagine I've left the pub in quite some time.
So basically no one's kicked you out the pub yet, so if you want to, you can continue sitting in the pub drinking.
Yes, and eating.
Yep.
I will consume basically anything brought to or past me.
Yeah, it's fine. There's you're still riding off the fame of it, and at the moment they're still handing out free food, drink, and water and stuff to you guys.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine now that my fame and acceptance has got to the point where people have stopped calling me Rat and are actually calling me Rickard, my actual name, or Mr. Travis if it's particularly formal.
Some of the
Rickard Arthur Travis.
That's fine.
Yeah. Rickard Arthur Travis. Okay. Finally reclaiming his name.
It's fine, yeah. Yeah, people to your face are calling you whatever you ask them to.
Yeah. That's fine. I don't care as long as I get free food and free drink.
I'm staying in the pub as well.
Okay. So assume you guys are in the pub, so Spanners, you basically come back to the pub to meet them.
Yeah. And I'm gonna swing open the now saloon doors with nothing behind them.
Yep.
Go, oi, Rat, we've got some stuff we probably need to go and have a look at.
Will it get me killed?
Probably. Bring Doc,
Fuck it.
put him in front.
Doc.
No.
Go on, Doc, you've had enough.
I like this drink.
You like
You
all
like
the
last
drink.
one.
Yes, but especially all of them.
Guys, are you coming with us?
I mean, kind of had
The
enough of walking into dangerous situations here.
I'm good.
I'm like, I'm pretty happy. I kind of just wanted to settle down, and now then we ended up like almost getting killed, getting like countless other people killed. I feel like enough of an asshole. I just want to settle down.
fair enough. Okay. So some of the guys have mentioned that there are stories coming out from the mine, screaming, ghost stories, that kind of thing. Finding someone with their eyes gouged out yesterday just makes me wonder whether there's something there that we ought to go and poke with a stick.
Or alternatively,
And if that doesn't sound appealing, I don't know what does.
alternatively, what we do is we get a huge amount of dynamite, and we sort of deal with the problem directly.
That sounds like poking it with a stick.
No. I'm talking about closing the mine. If there's a problem in the mine, you close the mine and leave.
Or we could just, let someone else deal with it.
Preferably the person holding a large amount of dynamite
Yeah.
while we leave town.
Yeah.
While you're discussing this, you hear the sounds of excitement from outside.
I look
Not
up.
up out there. We're trying to drink.
I think they're after all the bottles, so I'm gonna try and grab as many as possible and hide them in my coat.
As you the noise gets closer, and then you the kind of the bloke behind the bar is kind of like kind of trying to see out the window, like what's going on, and you see this bloke kind of swing through the door and he strides forward. He goes, "Oh, John, I've got my payment for the for booze for now, forever, and the last bit of payment I'll ever need to give you." And he holds up this gold rectangular bar, which is probably a couple of inches long and about half an inch thick. It's quite a chunky golden object. And he goes up and puts it on the bar. The barkeeper's kind of looks at it, kind of picks it up, bites on it, and checks it. It's like he's left a bite mark, and he's like, "Is that solid gold?" And the other
I don't know. Let me check it.
Yeah, the other bloke just like you sod right off. Yeah, that's all right. Solid gold. That is my tab for all eternity, opened and settled. Thank you, John. I'll have your most expensive whiskey, please. And the barman just kind of goes, frowns, kind of looks at the back of the shelf, kind of reaches up to the top and pulls one of the larger, slightly clearer glasses off the shelf and goes, "All right then," and slides the gold towards him and tucks it into a pocket.
Please tell me he gives him exactly the same whiskey he's been giving us all day. It's like the most expensive whiskey. He's like, "All right, it's like $1." He gives you a single shot of the normal whiskey in a fancy glass.
He basically just reached by and I mean, from what you can tell, there doesn't seem to be any difference in. He just seems to have there are just old bottles that have been filled with various alcohol. It's not like they're branded or labelled or anything. It's literally just like a various assortment of bottles. I mean, the one he gave out was a nice looking bottle. It was probably one of the nicest looking bottles up there, but that's no
umbrella in it.
guarantee of there being anything else. What was that?
I said, and it had an umbrella in it.
No, it didn't have an umbrella in it. Might have had a worm in it or something, if he was trying to make it look posh.
Yeah.
Has a fancy origami cowboy hat.
But yeah, you hear this, lots of excitement. People asking him like where he got it, and like that, and he's like, well, it was the spoils of battle.
Battle? What battle?
What spoils?
Out there, the great demon attack.
Mm.
You've not seen it? It's out there, out on the road.
There's a demon in the road.
Yep.
And it gave you a gold bar?
Well, found a gold bar on it.
Gave you a processed ingot.
A what?
That's not a nugget. Someone's done that.
I don't care. It's mine. Well, it's all wheeled up.
That's what the person who did that thought.
Well, yeah, but until I took it from him, now it's mine. Or was mine. But yeah, outside.
Well, I've just got to go and take a quick piss outside. And
Yeah, loads of all the other people like that followed in, kind of like they head back out as well, just in case there's like someone's missed a gold bar laying around or something.
yeah, I'm not sure I believe him, but I'm not going to let someone else find my gold.
Okay.
I might even knock over a bar stool and run. Anyone who tries to leave the saloon doors like, no! Try to reach it out. Okay.
Okay, yeah. Rat completely loses his shit and just throws stools on the floor and like legs out the door. Just in
It's
the off
mine!
chance, yeah.
Ah!
Yeah, completely lost in the lust of gold fever. I assume the rest of you are making your way out more sedately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna sprint out with all these bottles.
Okay. Fair enough. Yeah, so the you come out to the town. You can see there's two bodies being lifted up, and like basically like hung from the basically the stilted roof outside. So you've got like the porch and you've got the roof extending out beyond it. They're hanging two bodies up from there. One of which is it looks like one of the nomads you've seen, but when you walk round in front of him, you can see his eyes are completely red. And the other body you see there is of you've never seen anyone quite like it before. They're very their skin's kind of like a olive colour, which is unusual because you've basically got like the nomads tend to have reddish skin, and everyone else who's come emigrate down from the north's got quite light skin. But yeah, you've never seen this kind of olive tone before. And you can see that they've basically got strange tattoos on them, and you can see that woven into their hair, they've basically got their hair's kind of into like basically dreadlocks, and they've got bands of gold woven into the hair.
I think they need a haircut.
It's got gold in it.
As soon as you try and jump it, the rest of them are like, "Oi, back off! Oh, fuck, we found it. You want your own? Go hunt in the desert.
Where did you find it?
It's on the road out there, just laying there."
How many of them are there?
There's probably a group of about 15 people out here now, because most of the town's kind of been attracted towards this.
No, I mean the people who are saying it's ours. Yeah, go fuck yourself.
4. I'll say it's the miners.
Hmm.
It's those miners that you were arm wrestling with the other day.
I do have 6 bullets in my revolver.
Are you really going to start shooting townsfolk? I would point out, but basically everyone is armed. There was like half the village died yesterday. Everyone is carrying a gun.
Yeah, but this is gold.
If you want to start shooting over gold, you give it a go.
I have a manky shanky trowel as well.
You could totally try and shiv one of them into giving you like the golden hair bands.
Well, I was thinking
Sure,
more.
that
I could just cut off one of the dreadlocks and be like, "Oh no, it broke. There's no gold on this bit. It's okay." Whoop. Nah, fuck it. He's not that brave. He may be desperate and he may be greedy, but he's not that great.
Yeah, he's aware that, like, you know, the whole point of sneaking and doing things is you don't do it when everyone's staring at you to start with. Like, you
Yeah.
pick out your knife and start edging closer, they're like, oi.
It's like, what? You need someone to do it.
It's in camouflage.
Are you suggesting I skin someone and walk into the crowd? I don't. What camouflage is there for a crowd of people who know each other well?
These guys on the doorstep are just like,
Yeah.
sod off. It's our body. Go find your own.
So what are you going to do with the body then?
Well, I don't know. It's got to be worth something, isn't it? You ever seen anything like that before? I haven't.
No, but it won't last long, will it?
Yeah, you're gonna need to get the gold off it.
No, we will do. We just wanted to show it off first, like, you know, whole, as you will.
What's wrong with its eyes?
Oh, I don't know. I ain't never seen no one with red eyes before. I don't know, probably trafficking with demons or something. You've heard the stories of these people, you know, like, you know, eating children and, like, you know, murdering each other for the spirits and things. Who knows?
No. Eating children.
Well, yeah, you've heard stories, haven't you?
Sounds like bullshit to me.
Well, he's got red eyes, hasn't he? You ever seen red eyes in a person before? I ain't.
Huh? No, I haven't seen anyone with gold in their hair before, but oh, look there. You know, and he's
Yeah.
dead, so he's clearly not a demon. So, how about, you know, we stop telling our little fairy tales and we go and get some of that gold, and we all settle down like nice civilized people and trade. You know,
Well,
trade.
alright. What you got for my golden hair here?
Well, I'm not saying necessarily trade with me, but you know, this is vulgar and horrible and showy, and you know, it's not giving anyone any money. But now you come to think of it, I'll offer you, and I get my fancy ass broken watch.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'll give you this for my pick of a strand of hair.
What is it?
Clearly a broken gold watch.
Broken, you say?
Yeah, it's made of gold. You like gold. This is gold.
I'm sure it's
All right.
fixable.
Yeah? One strand of hair for that watch.
Yeah. I pull out my manky shanky trowel and I find the most gold encrusted strand. Thunk.
Yeah. Okay.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Good deal.
Probably nods against
About trading for a bit of a trophy. You know, those guys that decimated your sheriff. You might want to rub it in their nose a little bit, and I'm willing to trade you this nomad skirt for another strand of hair.
He's like, okay, you want to give me a skirt from one of these guys? And he points to the two bodies hanging from the roof. In
Not the whole
exchange for some
thing.
gold.
Bit of gold, and then you can use that skirt to just rub it into the nomads that you're not to be pushed around. And if you want to take a skirt from them, you'll take a skirt from them.
Do you not reckon the two dead bodies hanging from the roof will give that away?
You found them.
That's not. Yeah, you found them. You didn't
Wuss.
actually do
Come
that.
on.
And you're going to give me a skirt that you found.
I took this.
Yeah.
Alright.
Balls of battle. Actual battle. Battle we fought in.
So, what, the plan is that someone wouldn't see the two bodies and would stop to ask me, what, was someone dead in that skirt when you found it? And yeah, this shows that we killed a woman. That's alright. Bit unpleasant, but no offence, he says, looking up at you.
So I'm going to tower over him a little bit.
Okay.
So, look, a couple of days ago, you and your mates, you laughed when I challenged you to an arm wrestle. I flanked you. Now, you then saw what the doc did to me. So do you really want me to unleash the doc again?
Can I take an intimidation check? Threaten him with a drunk dog.
I am going to
So his arm's not shaking now because he's had a nice dose of booze. So.
Nice dose of booze. He is drunk off his ass.
I will take a
You'd be lucky to find his
16.
A 16.
A 16.
Alright, yeah, the bloke's like, looks at his back and says, alright, easy, yeah, okay, alright, look. Fine. I didn't mean to insult you. Look, here. And he goes back and he cuts one of the smaller strands of hair off and hands out. She's like, look, no hard feelings. Here you are. And
I ceremoniously hand him the skirt.
He's like, alright, thanks. And he tosses it to one side. And then he goes back to ordering, he cuts off the rest of the bill. He goes and starts untangling the gold from the hair rather than cutting the rest of them off, and so he can arrange the body to look most impressive.
Alright. So we've got gold encrusted dreadlocks.
Gold hair. Got rid of my skirt. All good.
Jobs are good.
Yep. Cool. So yeah, you guys managed to found yourself with a bit more gold than you had before. You've earned the favour of the crowd, and there's now possibly more bodies out there encrusted with gold. Hey, who knows? Someone will have to go out there and find out. But that is as far as we're going to take it tonight. So yes, you've all managed to survive very impressively, and somehow you've managed to earn your way into this town through enormous amounts of bloodshed and dead man's boots. I guess there is a sheriff opening available now, and probably some mining needs, and probably just about every other functionality of the town, as half the men are now dead. But yeah.
Is this the point where we stand up in front of the crowd and go we nominate Jimmy for sheriff?
He's probably the best shot now, so hey, he can probably just duel his way to leadership.
Brilliant.
But yeah, so that's the end of it tonight. So if we just go round, everyone can sign off and say what you thought of it. So if we start with Spanners.
Okay, I am Spanners, and I've been playing Bertha. She's interesting. She's quite violent. I like it. So I didn't kill any women or children today, unlike the rest of you. So I feel like I've come out morally on higher ground somehow, which is it's surprising.
But only because you failed to kill a woman.
I was going to say you
not
didn't
the
miss
point.
when you tried to murder her.
It's not the point.
You
I tried
attempted to
kill women.
impale someone. You attempted to impale a woman for protecting her children.
Yes, but I didn't kill her.
Yeah, you failed. Someone else stole it from you.
I am
You're
stealing
right,
this
fine.
moral high ground.
Okay.
Where can we find you?
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yes, you can find me on Twitter at Spanners_BTP. You can find me here on Monday with more Salt Gypsies, and hopefully surviving through that too. And yeah, other secret things
Cool.
soon to be revealed.
Okay, and Corone?
Hi, I'm Corone. You can find me at Corone_BTP on Twitter, and you can also find information about the short film Betrayed, which you saw the teaser trailer of earlier, at jqs.org.uk. That was a lot of fun. It was interesting to actually do some combat, because I do like a bit of combat here and there, even if it was to slice someone's throat out. And she did.
Child.
Yeah. No one
10-year-old. It was to decapitate a 10-year-old child.
He didn't quite decapitate it. He didn't get that good of a hit.
Oh,
It was the alcohol. It was. I thought it was a giant. But yeah, it was a lot of fun, and it'd be good to see how things progress next week.
Okay, down to.
doing
So have you done your where you are, where we can find you?
I did that at the beginning.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I lose track of some people did the beginning, some people did the end. Okay, Dev.
Hi, I'm Dev. And you can't find me anywhere. Yeah, that was really fun. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I can hear myself. Being in the same room as somebody else with open speaker is annoying. But yeah, other than that, I had a good time. Lots of laughs. I only killed one woman, but I wasn't informed that it was a woman before I did it.
No.
So it's not my fault. After that, I saved the woman, so 1 for 1.
Exactly. Evened out. I'm sure he understands.
Exactly.
Send her a letter.
No, it was really good.
Cool.
Moving on.
Okay, Kitten.
Hi, I'm Killikitten, and you can find me on Twitter and on Instagram at Killikitten21. I was playing Mandy. Sorry, I forgot her name for a minute there. And it was really fun. Unfortunately, I have been feeling a bit tired today, so I haven't been completely with it, but I really did enjoy it. I'm struggling a little bit now. Unfortunately, this is actually my last streaming for a while now. Unfortunately, life has gotten in the way, and but I do have a job now, one that pays, which basically is getting in the way of me doing things in the evening. So this will be my last one, at least for a while, which makes me sad. But you never know, I might find something else to do with my Killer Kitten pages on Twitter and Instagram. Come find me, find out.
And Thirsty.
Hey, I'm Thirsty. I was playing Rickard Arthur Travis. And you can find me on Twitter at thirsty_BTP. Find me on bloodthirstypuppets.co.uk. You can find me everywhere else that I talk too quickly. I had great fun being Rat. Unfortunately, for a character with no charisma, I ended up talking a lot because everyone else I assumed was tired or shy today. So for some reason, the idiot with no charisma got his way every time he opened his mouth. It was great fun being a completely immoral, utterly horrendous person. But yeah, it was great. I felt at times that maybe I'd pushed things a little too far, and we were trying to work out how to get back to the main drag of the story. But apart from that, I managed to get through all of that. I've ended up with 5 items more than I started with, and I've only spent 1 legendary point. So, hooray! And I only killed someone who previously hit me, apart from the sheriff, who I murdered in cold blood because he was an asshole.
But you did get some morals when you objected to the children being killed.
Yeah, and rape.
Yeah.
Rape and murder of children, things he's not good at.
It's not totally amoral then.
Yeah, he's not well.
Just like shiny things.
Yeah, he's just really greedy. he's just greedy and cowardly. He wants the money and he doesn't want to work.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, it was great. Thank you very much for running such a wonderful game for us.
Cool. Right, yeah, and I am Tech Puppet, and next Friday we should hopefully be back to our normal sessions again when the lovely Blood is back with us. And yeah, I want to thank Kevin MacLeod for the awesome music, which we will hear in the outro and probably in the intro as well. And yeah, we will catch you later.
Cheerio!